Hello, everybody, and welcome in. I feel a little pressure for this live stream. There's already 10 likes. There's only 4 people on it right now because it hasn't even started yet, but already 10 people have liked this in advance. So I guess it better be good, right? On the docket for tonight, the main event is going to be this giant bracket where we are going to be determining who is the all-time greatest pianist ever, greatest performing pianist, at least ever, of our modern generations, ones we have recordings of. So we're going to be voting on whether you think Kissin or Ashkenazi or Yuja Wang or Fleischer, who is going to whittle down to the single greatest recording pianist of all time. I got something making noise over here, driving me crazy, so let me turn it off real quick. But we also have a few other fun things we're going to do, as you probably can tell right there, or I should say right here. I have the subscriber total. I'm not to 10,000 yet, but I didn't want to wait a week because by next week, I can probably already be at 10,000 and the party won't make a lot of sense. So we are kind of celebrating 10,000 because I'm really appreciative for all of you guys who've subscribed over the years, whatever. It hasn't been years and years and years, but over the last year or two, thank you for all of you subscribed. It really does mean a lot. And if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, you should. Maybe you could be someone who helps us get to 10,000 tonight. I don't have anything brilliant planned. If I get to 10,000, maybe I'll do something crazy like go get an habanero and eat it or something. I don't know what I'll do, but let's try to get that total. So if you're watching and you have not subscribed, do so. Also, if you're watching and you're joining late, you might want to skip ahead because we are going to be doing the bracket. And remember, the bracket's going to be live voting. I will be giving you 2 names head to head, and you will vote on which one you want to see go on to the next round. So make sure you skip to current, because if you're like 15 minutes behind, it's not going to make much sense at all. So also tonight, we're going to be watching maybe some videos of people play piano and having fun, critiquing them, telling them things they can get better. We actually, let's start off with one of those. Ryan, I hope. No, sorry, he is not on the list. Sorry, I took people's suggestions of like the last 4, and I tried to go with the most common ones for the last 4. So if you look at the list here, let me show you the list. I filled out many of them my own, and then the ones I had, extra space for at the end, I kind of asked the audience in a poll, and people voted on who they want for the end. So only 32 names can make it. Some of them are audience voted on the channel. Most of them are pretty obvious. You got to have Long, got to have Fleischer, got to have Zimmerman, got to have Pressler, got to have Uchida, Richter. There's a lot of people we got to have. But there were some wild cards that people kind of vote on. And look at that. It's off to a great start. We've already lost 1 subscriber. So I guess the live stream is, the opposite intention. So how many people are here? Should we start voting right now? Or should we listen to one person play? I have a few clips of people playing piano that we're going to critique and have fun doing like a masterclass for. Let's do one first. Let's just do one, and then we will jump into this. But as people are sort of joining the stream, let's do one first. So we're going to kick off here with, I'm going to show you this, a little video of some Haydn. And we're just going to do this for a couple minutes as people are joining the stream. In just a minute, we are going to start the voting. So here is Sky playing some Haydn. If you guys want, later on the stream, I'm going to be doing more of these. If you want, there's like in the description, I kind of gave a website for sending large files, if that helps you send large files. But yeah, nice. So my first thought listening to the beginning of this is my chat not live updating on the screen. This happens sometimes, and I have to do some magic, some dark magic to make the chat go back to live updating. I don't know why this happens. I'm pretty sure the chat, there we go. I had to click on the button again. Okay, so is it that bad? Oh, your audio quality, Sky. Gotcha. I was like, is my audio quality bad? Your audio quality. Yeah, the beginning of this is pretty good, Sky. I would say one thing I notice is hear how much pedal you have at the beginning, and then it gets completely dry like 5 seconds later. I might try to balance the 2 out. I might not go so pedally here. And then gone. I don't think the audio quality is terrible. Does that recording sound terrible for all of you guys? So anyways, yeah, like I would just like maybe try to balance out the two ideas. Let's listen to a few more seconds of this if people are joining the stream. Like I said, in just a second, we're going to start our voting, but we're going to kick off with a recording of basically a little masterclass for everyone. If you want to do a video for the masterclass, submit it in the description down below. Listen to a little more of Haydn's Final Sonata. I like this. You know, I would do more to make the right hand melody at measure 6. I would do more to make sure we can hear that being copied in the left hand. I listened to this a little bit earlier, and one of my main thoughts on the first page is making sure we can hear the left hand going. Like, I don't really care as much about that. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem like as important to me as like the left hand taking that melody. We can kind of hear it being passed back and forth. So, okay, we might come back to more of this Haydn later, but we have enough people. I want to start the main event, at least the main first event. We are going to start our bracket, okay? So as already responded by lots of you who didn't even know this guy's first name, I'm guessing Leszewski, I think is how you say his name. I think I heard him pronounce it that way. Jan Leszewski. I'm guessing he doesn't really stand a chance against Kissen, but that's the way this stuff works, right? When you do a bracket, often you have the high seeds go against the low seeds. You don't want like Rubinstein and Ashkenazi eliminating each other in the first round. So first round here, we have Kissen, Evgeny Kissen, one of the greatest pianists of our generation, against a new up-and-coming young guy, Jan Leszewski. And I don't know as much about Leszewski. That's one of the ones that were suggested by my audience multiple times, and I was like, oh man, I should put this guy on here. I recognize his face, but I can't say much about his performance style, so I'm not going to really give you much to go on with that if you don't already know who he is. But here we are starting the poll. My thoughts about Kissen, not to make you guys biased or anything, but Evgeny Kissen is one of my favorite pianists in the world. Like, if he has a version of something classical and romantic, he's kind of my go-to, even especially like Beethoven. I think he does a great job with Beethoven sonatas. But if he has something by Chopin or Liszt, it's pretty good too. So he's definitely an all-arounder. He's not like a one era guy, but he's definitely someone I look for, Evgeny Kissen, when it comes to like Beethoven sonatas. I'm not as much of a fan as Kissen, like age 20 and less, but you know, adult Kissen, full strength Kissen. Full strength Kissen is pretty good. And I see most of you guys are agreeing so far. Kissen, 100% of the vote. So I don't think this is going to be a tough one for him to go on to the next round here. But, you know, maybe Leszewski gets a vote. Oh, thank you, Cube Talk, for subscribing again. We are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you're joining us and you just want to be nice and hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. I don't think we need to let this first poll go on for too much longer. I'm thinking that Kissen is going to take this one away. So if everything works here, I should be able to click this button and say, ooh, fancy. Kissen wins. Done. Now Kissen is into the next round. So next up here, now that Kissen has won. Oh, hello, Kaya. I don't remember how to say her first name. Kaya. What country are you from? So I don't know how to say her name. We are on to our next round. Wish me luck with spelling Leaf's last name. I've always spelled this wrong before, and I just now realized I've always spelled it wrong. But Ashkenazi, I guess we can spell multiple ways. But I heard him say his name. He said, hello, my name is Liv Ov Onsnes. And it's not Life Ove Onsnes, as some of us say, but he said his name was Liv Ov Onsnes, but he said it really fast, versus a classic Vladimir Ashkenazi. This is kind of like a matchup of generations in a sense. Obviously, Vladimir Ashkenazi is an incredible pianist of the past generation, and then we have, you know, if you know Leaf, he's not like a kid, but he's generation kind of after Ashkenazi. But I first heard Leaf play Onsnes play when he his Greek concerto, which is on YouTube. So when I was learning the Greek concerto, I thought his recording was really, really cool. Hello, Monsieur Fishy. Welcome to the live stream. I know it's been a hot minute since I have done a live stream. So we are on and we're voting. We are voting for Ashkenazi versus Ansnes. Oh, poor Ansnes. I saw he had Fishy, just leave work. Come on, priorities. I saw Leaf has some podcast or interviews he was doing, which is I didn't know. So I'm all for modern musicians actually like doing podcasts and videos or like making YouTube stuff or making content for people, because I feel like we just don't have enough of that. So I want to go check it out more. The only reason I knew it exists is because today I was like, I'm going to say his name right. I'm not going to say Ansnes. So I looked it up and I saw he had a video where he was like, hello, I am Leif of Ansnes. And yeah, but apparently you guys don't like him. Wow. Hurtful, guys. Hurtful. Not a single vote for poor Leaf. All right. Well, he is unfortunately going to be eliminated in the first round. He did have a tough matchup going against Ashkenazi, but Ashkenazi is going to be going on. Hello, Rodrigo from Brazil. Welcome in. It's actually a good time of day in Brazil. You know, I know some people in Europe are like, this live stream is so late, but you know what? This is kind of like the Americas time zone for this one today. But welcome in. Have you been in a live stream before, Rodrigo? I don't think I recognize your name. So welcome in. This is your first time. If I'm forgetting, then I'm sorry. Then welcome in for the second time. So, okay, up next. This is one where I think the new pianist actually has a chance. So we have Yuja Wong, who is the girl with all the crazy flair and the throwing her head back and crazy pounding on the piano and throwing her entire, 75-pound weight into it, versus a classic Fleischer, which does not have a C in his name. I always want to put a C in his name, but Leon Fleischer, who passed away a couple years ago, but great. I think more people think of him as a great teacher because most of us don't remember when he was a performer because it was a long time ago. But I think lots of us think of him as being a great teacher. But he does have some performances too, just not much in the modern era. But you watch all my videos. Well, awesome. I'm so happy you joined us for the live stream. I have not done a live stream in quite a while. I'm not helping Yuja Wong with that description. No, she plays awesome. I just think if you didn't know who she was and everyone's thinking, who is Wong? Who is this? And the girl with that, again, throws her entire body into the piano. It's pretty epic to watch. So we have, I don't know who's going to win this one. If it means anything, Leon Fleischer is my grandpa. Fleischer's not really my grandpa, but he's my grandpa in the piano world. He's my teacher's teacher. So some of the advice I got was, Fleischer does it this way. Do what Fleischer does. Thank you guys for the new subscribers, whoever you are. That's awesome. We're trying to get to 10,000 tonight. Maybe I'll do something stupid or crazy if we get there. I haven't decided. Maybe you guys could vote on it or, send a super chat of what dumb things I should do if we get to enough subscribers. So this one's actually close. Oh, wow. Really close. One vote. Yuja Wong has it by one vote right now. This is definitely a face-off of if you are the generation where you love Fleischer, this probably seems like an obvious pick. But probably some people now are like, Yuja Wong's an obvious pick. So, all right. I really don't like ending things. I know your vote counts. You don't live in, what would be a good example? You don't live in California where your vote doesn't matter, or you don't live in, what's a good example for the other side? Mississippi, where your vote doesn't matter. This is actually like, every vote counts. Yeah. The family tree thing is really fun. I thought about doing a video of kind of tracking my family tree because I have a couple grand teachers that go off in different branches, and so it's kind of fun. A lot of people trace back to the French female teacher. I can't think of her name right now. Maybe someone can help me out if you know in the comments. She's a lot of people's like great like grand teacher because she taught a lot of people who would be like most of our generations like grand teachers, or if you're older like your teachers. So she traces back to I think Liszt and Chopin. So a lot of people get to trace their lineage through that and get to all the famous people. But it'd be kind of fun to like a whole family tree and try to get to as many people as you possibly. Yeah. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. Bection? welcome in. I haven't seen you comment before, I don't think, but welcome in. Yes, Nadia, thank you. Nadia Boulanger or something like that. She taught several people who then traveled like the world and camped in different places and taught people all over the place. So isn't she French or is she Russian? I guess with Nadia, with that last name, she's probably French, but Nadia is kind of an iffy one. So, all right. It looks like Yuja Wong is going to take this one. I want to let it play out because it was within one vote, but now it's 2 votes ahead. So I will give you 10 seconds to tie the vote if you want to see Fleischer go on. But I'm thinking Yuja Wong is going to make it into the next round. All right, time's up. Yuja Wong is going to be the winner of this round. I'm using a new website for my bracket. It terrifies me a little bit because everything could go wrong, but so far, so good. Okay, next poll. I would try to be more biased this time, or unbiased this time, but I don't know if I can. So, Angela Hewitt. I hate to say what everyone says, but she's kind of like a Bach expert, but when you look up her name, her Bach recordings always show up first. So that's how most people know Angela Hewitt. Christian Zimmerman, most of you probably know, he is one of the classics, great pianist. I know who I would vote for in this matchup. It wasn't like the last one in my mind, which is close, but Zimmerman has some of the best Beethoven concerto recordings out there, which I'm partial to Beethoven. Also has great ballade and scherzo recordings by Chopin, so he is great. Angela Hewitt is kind of seen as like an expert in the Bach world. So if you love Bach, let me know if you love Bach, if you love her recordings or not. But I think, unfortunately, this one's not going to be close. Yeah, it's a little... The first round matchups are a little tough. It makes it seem like we don't like certain people, but that's not really the case. If you happen to be watching this, Angela, sometimes that's how it falls. I tried to put everyone, and I didn't check their matchups. I actually put them in seeding order. Then this thing switched all the orders around, so I had no clue. I actually didn't check, so I have no clue who's going up against each other. As you get further down the list, I didn't even look at like if it made sense who's going up against who. So we just kept it. I kept it really random. So yeah, you had to go against one of the top people there, Zimmerman. So Zimmerman, if you're watching this, Christian, you have made it on to the next round. Kind of not surprising with a name like Zimmerman that he would make it, but we got to give him the next round, and we are going to go on to this one. I'll just leave it to you guys. I'm curious where everyone's going to go with this one. We have Long Long versus Pressler. Long versus Pressler. Oopsie, not Presley. Pressler. I got to put his name in there right in the first place. So, any big Long fans here? Any big Pressler fans? I wonder if the same person would win this poll if we said most liked and most disliked. Because I can't imagine anyone disliking Pressler. Yeah. Zimmerman Chopin is just amazing. Like, that's like when I first played the first ballade. I listened to lots of recordings after I kind of got into it for a while, and his was just like the very, very best. So, Long versus Pressler. Yeah, this probably isn't going to be close. We're going to get more like intense matchups as this goes along, but I'm guessing Long's going to kind of take the lead here. Not even everyone's voting this time because I think everyone feels like it's going to be a blowout, so not even everyone's putting their vote in. But yeah, Pressler's probably known. I have a question. Does anyone know who Pressler is if you're not an American? Because he's a really famous teacher at Indiana School of Music, Jacobs School of Music, but I've always thought of him more as a teacher, and I've known lots of his students because they have a lot of people go through that school. But he's now performing, not now, but I feel like now he's kind of getting known for performances. You see his face pop up more, but I've always thought of him more as a great teacher. So does anyone, if you're not, I never heard of him, Canadian, yeah, I feel like I really heard about him in college because it's like, I didn't go to Jacobs School of Music, but you know a lot of people who went there. So I've always thought of him as like a teacher. But yeah, he plays too. There's lots of recordings of him playing, being very emotional and stuff. But okay, yes, not surprisingly, Long won it. But if you know who Pressler is and you're not, again, you sometimes don't know. You grow up in a certain country and you think some people are famous, and you don't really know if that same name carries weight outside. So hello, Galactica. Welcome in. Yeah, Long's hard to vote against Long. I mean, he's going to have a tough matchup pretty soon here, but it's hard to vote against Long. Okay, this next one I could see being an extremely, extremely close matchup in the first round here. We have, just to give you guys kind of the layout here, we have Uchida, and she is just kind of known for not just Mozart. A lot of people love her Mozart, but she is like up there with a lot of people's favorite pianists and also favorite personalities. She's like pretty fun in interviews and everything, and people just love her, and she gives a lot of interview. And then Richter, who's just like a classic, great pianist. Most of his recordings are probably from the 60s, 70s, I think. And he has great stuff, and he often performs his stuff kind of live. He's a little more raw. It's nice to hear a pianist actually gives you not the perfect studio version of everything. But he's great, and she's great. So I know who I'd vote for slightly, but I'm guessing this one's going to be a lot tighter between you guys. So your vote counts, as has already been said once. Your vote really matters for this one. Oops. There we go. Richter has an early lead. Richter still has a lead. Ooh, Richter has a bigger lead. Okay. If you're a Uchida fan, you better get your vote in there. You better get your vote in there because it looks like Richter is pulling. Oh, never mind. Got a few more votes in a row for Uchida. Ooh, this is close. I don't want to say anything because I'm not as personally invested here. I want to skew your guys' vote, but it's a tie right now. So if you really want to see one of these two go on, like I said, when I did this bracket, it's sort of random who the matched up because I tried to put the top people that are obvious ones at the top, and then I stopped caring as I went along. So it's a little random. This is a tough first round matchup. Both these people probably deserve to go to the next round, but guys, we can't end it a tie. People, vote. I know you're on here. Vote. I'm watching this as well to make sure nothing goes wrong on the live stream. I'm not going to vote though. I could vote and be a tiebreaker, but I don't want to be a tiebreaker. I want to let you guys do it. Take a second. If you're eating your supper or if you're watching something else, stop what you're doing, subscribe to the channel, and then vote for the poll. Whoa, 2 votes in a row for Uchida. Wow. Someone wants to listen to my cry for paying attention and voting. Oh man, this is tight. I know. I know who I'd vote for slightly, but this is not. I mean, I know who I'd vote for. If I have to be a tiebreaker, I will be a tiebreaker. But it looks like Uchida is going to win it. There's how live streams work. There's like a 5 or 10 second delay between when I talk and you hear me. So I always have to give it a few more seconds. Then I think welcome in Amorina. Is that how you say your name? Yeah, maybe. I'm going to say that. Okay. I'm going to call for Uchida. It's up by 2 votes. It doesn't surprise me. She's leading anyway. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Uchida kicks out Richter in the first round, which again is surprising and not surprising all at the same time. But I probably would have voted for Richter just slightly. But Horowitz is here. Well, Horowitz better be here. Did I forget Horowitz? I hope I didn't. No, Horowitz is here. He's down at the bottom. Again, I kind of put the obvious ones I thought of all at the beginning, and the way brackets work is they take the first seed at the top, second seed at the bottom, third seed, fourth seed, fifth seed, sixth seed. So you're going to see big people on both sides. So I know Richter's gone. One of the people who comment the most on this channel's last name is Richter. He's not here right now, but I'm sure he's going to be really bummed too. So, all right, we have a classic matchup of Rubinstein, who would be the obvious pick, and also Pellini, though. So if you are see who's Chopin you like better. Really a matchup of 2 people who are really known for Chopin. I mean, they play other people too, obviously. Rubinstein plays some great Rachmaninoff and great Alatanov. But Pellini, man, I was always like, okay. Let me back up. I like the Chopin etudes. They're these pieces that I like playing a little more than listening to sometimes. But Pellini really kind of convinced me. I'm like, he plays them so well. But then it's freaking Rubinstein. So I don't know. This is like the matchup of great Chopin interpreters. Let's just start this poll. I'm guessing Rubinstein's going to get more votes because it's Rubinstein. Like, it's hard not to vote for Rubinstein. But Pellini, he's great. And again, I was just really blown away with his interpretations of the etudes, how musical they were. But yeah, this is not going to be close. I know this is tough. Like, I actually thought when I chose, in my head, I was like, do I do 64 or 32? I decided to do 32 pianists, and I thought, well, 32 is probably, we'll have like 15 tough ones and then like 17 that are pretty easy. Like, no, almost all the matchups are killer, but it looks like Rubinstein has this pretty easily, also a new record on total votes. So welcome in to the stream, everyone. Hope it just keeps growing as we go along. But Rubinstein has this one. Oops. Rubinstein, winner, submit score. Okay, now we have, I'm not going to say lesser known, but compared to Rubinstein, lesser known, Olsen. Olsen's another one that I'm curious if you guys are not from the USA, if you know who Olsen is, Garrick Olsen. He won the 7th Chopin Festival contest, maybe, and then Emmanuel Axe. He doesn't have an E at the end of his name. I don't know how many years I spelled his name with an E at the end. I really want there to be an E at the end of his name, but there's not. Garrick Olsen, Emmanuel Axe. If I'm not going to tell you guys, I don't want to skew you too much, but we'll see. Well, we'll see if it's close. If it's close, I might try to skew you a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Garrick Olsen or Emmanuel Axe. Oh wow, Olsen by a lot. Wow. I thought Axe would win this. This is why I don't know what people think. I saw Emmanuel Axe live. It blew my mind. Emmanuel Axe is just so musical. He's just like, he played the last Schubert sonata, and it was just not in a rush. Just his pacing was immaculate. The guy's amazing. But it seems like more people are voting for Garrick Olsen. Olsen's also, I think, appeared more in like speaking roles and like videos and talks about piano lately. So I think it's kind of helped him out, like become more in the public eye as of lately. So thank you, Rodrigo, for checking it out for a little bit. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you can, I will try to keep this up for a while and people can check it out for the next few days. So it looks like Garrick Olsen is going to win, eliminating my guy, Emmanuel Axe. Emmanuel Axe is one of my favorite pianists, but it's a tough first round match. They're all tough first round matchups, but I'm a little sad to see him go so early. If I was like trying to rig all this, I would have had him go against someone who I knew he would beat in the first round, but I shouldn't do that too much. So, all right. There are no easy matchups. This is actually a lot tougher than composers. I thought composers would be, we did composers before, but there were just more obvious ones, like when Beethoven went up against Mendelssohn. Yeah, that's tough, but Beethoven, right? And that was like, those votes were always like super easy. This is almost harder with pianists. So we have Claudio Arau, and I'm going to butcher his name, but Song Chin Cho. I think it's Cho and not Cho, but Cho, not Chu or Cha. Another classic of back then, and also a little newer upstart, not like too new, but newish upstart. So I'm guessing this will go really well for Arau, but we will see. Everyone, I know I love Emmanuel Axe. Arau is, I think, in my opinion, he's not really a guy who's known for like one thing. Arau is more just kind of like an all-arounder pianist. I feel like when you see his recordings, there's a lot of different styles. But he probably does stick more in the romantic era, just from my experience. But that could just be the recordings I've heard. Sometimes you get like an idea of someone, like, oh, they're more of like a, Liszt guy, but really you just heard their Liszt recording. So this is close. This is really close. One vote away from each other right now. They're both great. They're both really, really good. I don't have as strong as opinions about either one of these. They're neither one a go-to person for me to listen to recordings of, but I don't really want to end it when it's within one vote of each other. So we need a few more people to vote to make someone clearly the lead here. We want to have we're still by one. We got one more vote for each one. But this one, okay. Cho? Does anyone know if I'm saying that right? Cho? Really? Maybe I should listen to more of him, because if you're saying you like him as much as Zimmerman, that's pretty high praise. So, hello, Micah. Welcome in. You really dislike Horowitz. Well, you'll have a chance to not vote for Horowitz here, coming up soon. Really soon here. You'll get a chance to not vote for Horowitz. Wow, this one's gotten the most votes so far, and it's in a dead tie. People, we gotta decide who's better, Claudio or Joe. Which one do we vote for? Also, if you're here, click subscribe while you're hanging out for a little bit. I mean, maybe all of you who are here have already subscribed. If you haven't, we're trying to get to 10,000. I know the odds of getting there tonight are pretty low, but again, if I did this next week, it might be too late. So we were having a party in advance. So, all right, I will give it about 10 more seconds, and a row will win if no one else votes. Okay, I will have to check out his Gaspard. You're saying it's mind-blowing. I believe you. I don't know. Oh, great. Now he has another vote. Now it's tied again. Thank you for subscribing, whoever did that. Yeah. You don't think Giels is going to win? Giels? I think you say his name Giels, but has a really hard name to say. I hope he wins. I love him, but we're not on him right now. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We have a tie. If the tie does not get broken, we're going to have to do a recount like the state of Florida. If you're an American, you understand what I'm talking about. And I'll have like a hard cutoff, and then we will just, count down to 10. Okay, we're going to do a recount. It's within the recount zone. We are way too close here. So we're going to do a recount. Start the recount. So everyone, if you want to vote for this, there will be a very limited amount of time you'll be able to. I will give you about 10 seconds. And then there's not a winner, then I will get to pick one. Go. Start voting. We can't have a tie like this unless I just break the tiebreaker. But you got 10 seconds. Make it happen. If it's tied again, that's going to be hilarious. But I'm taking a drink of coffee while you vote. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Cho wins. And if you are watching this, Cho, I'm sorry if your last name is not pronounced that way. I tried to look up a lot before I started the video of people I didn't know how to say the last name already, but I don't remember. I can't remember everyone's. No, you can't have my coffee. I need it. I don't know how late we're going tonight, but I was smart and made coffee like 6 hours ago and put it in the fridge so I could have like something refreshing to drink. Not like, when you drink like warm coffee, it's caffeine, but it's also a little like, yeah, I didn't want that. I didn't want to fall asleep in the middle of this thing. So, all right. Up next, we have Murray Pariah versus, I always spell his last name wrong, so I want to put the L after the I, but Gels. If you guys, I want to try to skew your vote with this one. If you do not know Gels or Galels, if you do not know this guy, you need to go listen to this after this live stream. Go listen to him playing Beethoven. He's the type of guy kind of like Richter where he has just tons of live recordings, and they are so good because they're more raw. They're not this perfect edited splicing kind of studio thing, but they're just raw power. He's just amazing. He's someone you listen to play piano and you're just like, whoa, it blows your mind a little bit. It's an easy vote for me because I don't like Pariah as much as he's probably famous for. So I would vote for Giels, but I do recognize he's a little less known. What does Redeemed Ceiling Fan even name? Hello, Moy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. First super chat, and I'm even going to like that super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That means I might even get, enough super chats. I was telling you stupid too, other than just to 10,000 subscribers. But I already have my coffee, Moy. So I can't use it to buy coffee tonight. Also, I think everywhere's closed. But that's awesome. Thank you so much. And Giels is winning. Giels, he would be like my underdog to go a long way. If I was doing this bracket, he would be like him and Emmanuel Axe. Wow, all the people liking Moy's super chat. Awesome. Thank you, guys. If I had to pick someone that would be in my top 10 that would surprise people, it would be him or Emmanuel Axe. I really like him. The first time I heard him play, he was playing Opus 101. And like a recording of him playing, I should say. And a lot of people's recordings of Beethoven Opus 101 don't make sense in my mind. They're just sort of like haphazard different pieces. And I remember I was just like, whoa, like He's just such a good piece. If you listen to his Opus 101, it's one kind of congruent piece. It sounds so good together. And then I just kind of was hooked on him. Now, if he has a performance of a Beethoven sonata, I wouldn't say he's always my favorite. It's not like he's automatic is the best, but he's really good. So, and I'm happy he wins because Pariah, honestly, I don't get as much, but I'm sure there's a recording out there that I just don't know a Pariah that would show how great he is. So we have a win for Yales. Okay. Up next, I'm curious where you guys are going to go with this. Are you guys going to vote for Glenn Gould? Do more people love Glenn Gould or more people hate Glenn Gould? Glenn Gould versus Sokolov. Sokolov has some great recordings as well. He is someone that you kind of, at least I personally forget about. That when I hear his recordings, I'm like, wow, he's really good. And then Gould is just his unique, awesome character. Unique character. I like Glenn Gould philosophy. So you were just going to mention Gills. I discovered a really nice Prokofiev piece. Yeah, he's also someone who I feel like in that era they were playing more of the 20th century stuff that maybe we even play now sometimes. Like it was, I don't want to say newer at the time, but yeah, they're really doing well. So Willis is close. Gould versus Sokolov. Oh man, really close. Yeah, Polini's great. Polini, I would say I've come around to more recently. I mean, I've known obviously who Polini is for a very long time, but I feel like more recently I've kind of come around to him. But he got eliminated by Rubinstein in the first round. It was a tough matchup, a very tough matchup. So. Okay, it looks like Glenn Gould is winning. I'll give it a few moments for someone else to vote. If you want Glenn Gould to vote, just hit the vote. And you were just like, you don't, you want the 18 votes. Okay, Glenn Gould is up by 2 votes now. Yeah. Mike, I kind of agree. I really like hearing him talk. It's kind of like I really like listening to John. Oh no. Who's the British composer? John. Oh no. This is called a live stream brain fart. The guy who has all like the prepared piano pieces and everything. Someone help me out here. He's like his philosophy. I feel like is great. Like he talks about the guy who wrote the 433. Like he's great. Yeah, John Cage. Thank you. My brain wasn't working. But I like listening to him talk about music. And his pieces are okay, but when he talks about like his philosophy, like his interviews are so great. Oh, hey, Pressler taught my teacher. Nice. That's what I was kind of saying. I think some people think of Pressler, especially in the U.S., as like a teacher. So John Cage. All right, Glenn Gould has this. Also, guys, congratulations. You set a new record for votes. So that's awesome. Let's try to keep growing the stream. If you want to take a second, hit the heart button on the chat. Sometimes YouTube sees people interacting and they go, yay, people interacting with the stream and liking stuff. We will show this to more people. So if you want to, I would really appreciate that. Take a second to do that. So let's keep going. We have okay. I kind of cheated here. We have Sirkin versus Yundi Lee. I don't think Sirkin stands a chance, and I don't think he stands a chance if we're talking about Peter or Rudolph, but you can vote for either one. You can do Peter Sirkin or Rudolph Sirkin, but they're going against Yundi Lee, so I don't know if it really matters that much. But I was like, which one do I pick? It's really tough to decide which one to pick between the Sirkins, and so I went with both. You can say he's one person. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. A lot of people have voted for him. Maybe giving him 2 lives is not fair. It's not a fair thing. So. Okay, there you go. Yundi Lee is running away with it. Okay. At first there, I was like, whoa. I heard the younger Sirkin perform. Bartok's Concerto. I don't remember which one he performed, but it's okay. It was okay. All right, Yundi Lee is going to take this one pretty easily. Yundi Lee is great, and I know everyone says the same thing about him. He's really good in romantic music, but it's true. He is really good in romantic music. I was listening to him play Pathetique Sonata, and I was thinking, wow, he's really good at romantic music. But no, he is legitimately really good at romantic music. So he is an incredible person to seek out if you're doing something by Chopin, if he has a recording just to listen to. So, all right, we have good old Mark Hamelin. versus Trifonov. So this is a matchup of two extremely virtuosic pianists, two people who they do it in an extremely different way too. You have Marc-Andre Hamelin, who's just playing the hardest piece in the world, and then like Trifonov, who's like he's going to eat your brains out or something. But two great performers. So I'm going to be curious who wins this one. We have good old Hamelin against Trifonov. Guess it depends how much YouTube we watch and stuff. Though they have both been featured recently on stuff as well. It's not like, Hamelin has been doing more stuff like with YouTube channels lately. So his face has been showing everything. But Trifonov, he's so funny. I remember when Trifonov first burst onto the scene, it was like, who is this crazy man on the piano? It was so hilarious. But then he kind of showed he was actually really good as well. He wasn't always so crazy, but some of those early recordings are hilarious of him. So, wow. Trifonov has to lead. Oh, really? Trifonov's going to give a masterclass? Well, that's almost as good as the masterclass I will do later on this video of you playing Haydn. Like, you're going to play Haydn later, and, Trifonov versus me doing a masterclass is kind of a toss-up. Of which one's which, But looks like Trifonov is winning this one. Poor Mark. I've never seen Trifonov live. I have seen Mark live, and he was incredible. My piano teacher had the best description of him. She said he plays piano like he's cutting bread, just so easy, like nothing's hard for him, which is true. In concert, it was just he was never even like struggling at all. So, but Trifonov is pretty cool, and he has definitely won this round. So Trifonov on to the next round here, and we were actually almost done with our first round. We have a few left. Oopsie, let me push the right button here. Up next here, we have Schiff versus Argerich. I don't think this is going to be close at all. I mean, we all love Andrei Schiff, right? I would just let you guys take this one away. I don't think this is going to be anywhere close to close. It shouldn't be close. I mean, Schiff is great, but I mean, Argerich is Argerich. Yeah. As you can tell, as we get down to the bottom of the list, we have more of the really big name people showing up again. So, yeah, Argerich is going to take this one fairly easily. I would imagine that if like Schiff was close, people who are watching would like jump into the defense of Martha. Martha's great. She's a great pianist. She's a great personality. She kind of has both going for her. She's like, I mean, I don't know her personally. So if you're like, oh, she's a terrible person, I don't know. But when she like talks, when she plays, she looks really like friendly and charming. Like there's just that kind of aura about some people. And some people are like very serious. You don't really get to know them. They're just so like focused on their craft. And she seems like she's just having a great time when she plays. So she's great. Yeah, Martha is definitely winning this round. So, all right, we have a couple. Let me click this really quick. Couple matchups left. Argerich won that one. So we have two matchups left in the first round. He would leave the live stream if Martha lost this round. It wouldn't be my fault though. Would you at least like subscribe or something first? You'd lose faith in your fellow humans. Like, I'm sorry, I can only do so much to skew everyone, but yeah, don't take it out on me if people vote for the wrong person. So, Brendel. Did I write his name right? If I did, okay. All right. This isn't going to be close, even though this is a really high caliber matchup. I mean, if all you could do in your life would listen to Brendel recordings, you would be pretty well off. He is great, but against Horowitz, I don't know. I mean, well, I guess we'll see. I bet more people dislike Horowitz than dislike Brendel. You know what I mean? But Horowitz is going to win. But I bet if you had to vote on, does anyone actively dislike someone? I'm guessing no one actively dislikes Brendel. He's pretty solid, but yeah. Horowitz has all the votes. All of them. Wow. Who was it earlier that said they hated Horowitz? Someone lied. Someone said they hated Horowitz. I was ready to get like one. Oh, there we go. One person didn't vote for Horowitz. Yeah. This is kind of an obvious one. We can stop poor Alfred from getting beat up on here. We'll just call this one early. It's not going to be close. Horowitz wins the round, And we have the final matchup, which is, again, going to seem like we hate someone because it's not going to be close. But we have Olafsson, who I will admit I barely knew before. I recognized the name like Vikinger. Olafsson, obviously, he's Icelandic. I say obviously, I guess he could be like a Viking as well. But against Daniel Barenboim, this is just kind of the way these matchups work. Like, I tried to get the very biggest people in the top so they wouldn't go against each other in the first round. And so poor Olafsson has to go against Daniel Barenboim. So sorry. I also don't know a lot of his recordings. I listened to it a little bit before the video and I was like, hey, yeah, I mean, not bad, but can you watch the stream tomorrow? Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow. As long as nothing horribly embarrassing happens and I have to take it down. If something horribly embarrassing happens, I might have to edit it in the YouTube editor, which always kind of stinks because it takes like sometimes like a day for them to fix it. But hopefully it is. Wow. Olafsson's tied with Baron winning. Wow. Maybe this is someone, I did ask my audience, is there anyone you want to see on here? Multiple people said Olafsson, and I was like, I don't even know who this is. So I must have just missed out. People seem to love him. Huh. I guess I don't know. Well, right now he's up by 1 vote. And so if he beats Barenboim, that would be a big upset in my mind. But I know a lot of people view Barenboim more as a conductor, even though I think he's fabulous at the piano. Obviously, he started that way. I'm kind of surprised. People just think he's overrated or people don't really care for him. I thought everyone loved him, but I don't know. It's close. The last matchup of the first round is really tight. That's awesome. Tight matchups are more fun. Your vote counts. Vote now. Vote now and don't let your person be eliminated forever to never return. Wow, it's still tied. That's crazy. I'm totally shocked by that. Olafsson is great at playing Bach. Okay. I just have missed out on this for some reason. Somehow I have missed out on this. I'll give it another second here. I really don't like calling it by 1 vote. I always prefer it to be 2 votes. So if you're out there and you want to vote for Olafsson, drop a vote and he'll win automatically because he'll get him to 2 up. Oh, now it's tied again. You went the wrong way, whoever that was. All right, we'll give it like 10 more seconds. Hey, in the comments real quick, while we let this tie play out, let me know if there are any girls watching this, any females, because my YouTube statistics always tells me that no girls watch it. It's like I have a almost 100% male audience, but then in the comment sections, I always see girls commenting. So is that because you don't tell YouTube your real gender, or is that because YouTube stats are just wrong? Because I'm always like really confused by that. Like my YouTube stats are like only men watch your videos, but I'm like, yeah, people comment on stuff, so. I was like, I don't know why I do. It's not like I'm doing like motorcycle channel. It was a very weird thing. Very weird thing to be like, why? Again, if I was like covering only motorcycles, maybe that would make more sense. But it's piano. It's piano. Okay, we're going to do a revote. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad to know that YouTube statistics are wrong. We are going to have to do a recount. We have to do a recount. I'm going to give it about 10 seconds as always. I wonder if Olafsson also has a chance. I missed a letter. I did. Sorry, Olaf. Oh, no, I didn't. I did it right. Okay, I thought I spelled his name wrong. Versus Barenboim. Give about 10 or 15 seconds. 10 or 15 seconds, then we're going to call it. Okay? Go. We can't let this tie again. Okay, guys? We got to do better than that. So, well, now Barenboim has a crushing lead. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Now it's tied again. And I know who I will pick for the tiebreaker if this ties again. I'm not going to look. I'm going to give it 10 seconds. 10. Maybe I should play some entertaining music for you guys. Oh. It'll be like music theory. Now notate that and tell me what chords I just now played. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Barenboim was not even... Wow, he won by many votes this time. Weird. Well, the hype for Olafsson is gone. I'm glad for one reason, I can stop worrying about saying his name wrong, because I'm probably saying his name very wrong. But that is the end of the first round. If you guys know how these brackets work, the second round has half as many comparisons. So what that means, yes, goodbye, Olaf. Goodbye, Olaf. Elijah, welcome. I was wondering if you would join. You've changed your profile picture. You changed your profile picture since last time I saw you. Yes, it's been a really long time since a live stream. I didn't realize how long it had been, but life's been a little crazy. And I was looking at like my last live stream and I was like, oh my goodness, I did not mean to go that long. That's not my intention. But yes, if you know how these brackets work, we're halfway done with the comparisons because half the people are out. And so we're going to have, we're a good chunk of the way done. And as Kai or Saya or Sia mentioned, it's only going to get a lot tougher now because all the winners are going to face off against each other. So we are going to jump right into an extremely tough decision. Evgeny Kissin versus Ashkenazi. Kissin. Oh no. Kissin. Did I write it wrong in the first poll? Hang on. I gotta know how to spell his name. Now he's one of these names that I know, then I panic and write it wrong sometimes. I should know this. It is an I. Okay, I did write it wrong in the poll. I can't change the poll right now, or I can't change the bracket. But that was weird. I checked all the names I wasn't sure of, double checked the spelling. Like Zimmerman has one M and one N. I double checked all this stuff, and I was so sure about his name I didn't double check it. Yeah, it's like kissing without the G. That's actually what I kind of thought. That's how I remember it as well. But somehow in my fear of spelling Licheski wrong or spelling Fleischer with a C SH instead of just an SH, I somehow misspelled someone whose name I know well. So Ashkenazi versus Kissin. This is going to be really tight. I will let you guys kind of have at it, and then I might give my opinion if it's close. But I definitely know who I like more, but this is matchups of two people who are considered the greatest at their craft. Yes, Kissin, Smooch. Every time I see him play, I will always think of kissing from now on. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to kiss the sky when he leans his head back. Yes, Amy, I really want to do more in the future. My goal would be I would love to do at least once a month. I probably just need a schedule. If there was something easier that I could do in a live stream where we were just talking out, chatting and hanging out and doing something that took less setup, I would like to do them even more often than that. I like the idea of streaming more. It's fun. But right now I have the room that I teach in, and I bring in this stuff so I can live stream. I have to set my computer up. I can't show you, but my computer is sitting right here, which I cannot have my desk in here. So there's a lot of work to set up, unfortunately. I wish it was simpler. Okay, as this plays out, Kissin has a lead right now by 2 votes. As this plays out, we are doing a big push for 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, push subscribe here as we get closer. It looks like Kissin is going to pull away from Ashkenazi. Yeah, Ashkenazi is great. Ashkenazi is actually the first CD or first album of Rachmaninoff I purchased as well. I was playing something by Rachmaninoff. We're trying to pick a Rachmaninoff, and I found one of his albums, and I was like, oh, this guy's so cool. So he's one of the first albums that I purchased in my life. But Kissin is probably my top guy, even though I misspelled his name in the poll because I'm an idiot. Kissin might be my favorite all-arounder pianist, so I'm not sad about him winning, but it is a little every single round we're going to eliminate someone. We're going to eliminate someone that makes us really sad. What fugue should you start with? It really depends on if you've played some inventions. I would say play not even the easy inventions, just play C minor, play F major, D minor, A minor, and then if you're can do all those, play B flat and B minor. If you can do those 6, then I would say jump into some inventions like C minor or G minor, jump into some fugues from the WTC like C minor and G minor, but I wouldn't start with that. And I personally love the toccata fugues, but that's like further down the line in my mind. You should really have a good handle where you can do almost not handle. You can play handle fugues if you want to, but have a good handle on the Bach invention fugues, like at least 4 or 5 of them. I say fugues, but you know what I mean. Jump into the WTC, at least play like, again, C minor, G minor. I'm trying to think of what's another easy one. Don't do one of the crazy slow ones that are hard to interpret. Like, don't do like C sharp minor or B minor, but do something like C minor, B minor, or C minor, G minor. And then, you know, I love the toccata fugues as well, but that's kind of my gut feeling. So, up next, oh, I feel like this is going to end badly for a star of the first round here, but Yuja Wong took on Fleischer and beat him. But now she has to go against Zimmerman. So learn the A minor fugue from book 1. Yeah. I'm kind of curious, what level are you? Have you played Bach before? I don't know what to call you other than Redeemed Ceiling Fan. That's a pretty nice first name, though. Redeemed Ceiling Fan. After we do the bracket, guys, we might be doing some... I saved some videos of some famous people playing piano, like Justin Bieber and stuff. We're going to talk about good and bad piano techniques from these short, like 10-second clips of them playing. We're not going to listen to like a 5-minute video of Justin Bieber playing piano. Don't worry. But just talk about like my thoughts when I see someone play piano, with like I think if they're good or bad, kind of like technique. We're going to do that, but also we might do some masterclass stuff too, where we talk about your guys' performance. So if someone wants their playing to be featured in like a little mini masterclass as we just stream, you know, for 25 straight hours, we get to 10,000 subscribers. Just let me know. Send me a video. There's something in the description. You just one of my favorites. She better not lose. Yeah, but she's going against Zimmerman. I mean, it's within one vote. It's within one vote. Okay, Redeemed. Yeah. So I would just say if you haven't played a lot of Bach, check out like the 2-part inventions maybe first, or some even like the small preludes and stuff. If you haven't done any Bach, I don't really know what level you're at with Chopin, but at least the 2-part inventions, because you can be like pretty far along with Chopin, but if you haven't done a lot of Bach, just the contrapuntalness of it is really tough. Guys, I know you love Yuja Wong, but it's Zimmerman. It's Zimmerman. He's like the best. That's true. Yeah, I've always heard that Chopin really liked some Bach. So they're basically the same person. So, all right, it's within one vote. This is the most voted for one yet. So I'm really, really glad. 8 misclicked. It's tied, guys. It's tied. I'm shocked. Now Yuja Wong's winning. That's surprising. Not because she's bad, but I just kind of view Zimmerman as one of these people that are just, you know, the goats that have been around for like, I mean, he's been great for 30 years and he's still great. And she's young upstart. She's not really young upstart, but relative to him, she's like a young upstart. But hey, it looks like she's winning. So if you got a few more seconds, the crowd is all joining in, rallying around Yuja Wong. So it looks like she's going to win. I'll give it a few more seconds. If it's not within one vote, though, she takes it. So that's the point of the video. The people get to decide, not the stupid content creator who likes Zimmerman. But I will be sad to see him go. But that's it. Yep. All right. I gave it a few more seconds. She has it by 2 votes. If it was 1 vote, I'd, of course, give it more time. So I hate having someone lose by 1 vote. But 2 votes, all of you who vote for Yuja Wong, celebrate. Raise your voices. And now she has to go against Kissin in the next round. But it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit for that. But wow, I'm surprised. That's my biggest shocker so far. Once again, not because I think she's bad, but just, I don't know, I kind of view Zimmerman as like maybe one of the best out there. So wow. We will always remember that Zimmerman was eliminated by my audience in just the second round. You could blame it on me for the way I organized the poll, but I don't want to be blamed for anything. I want to blame it all on you guys. All right. Long versus Uchida. Uchida or Uchida? Yeah, Uchida. All right. diminished 7 Zimmerman, unless that '07 means something else. But all I can see is diminished 7 Zimmerman. So, all right. Long versus, I know. I have a very big, huge, maybe I need to make a video about her. I know my audience liked her so much. So we're learning a lot from this live stream. All right. We have Long versus Uchida. This will be interesting. I mean, oh, that's what that means, really? Sorry, my musician brain can only see diminished 7th chord. I mean, sorry, that's sometimes you're so entrenched in one form of thinking. Man, we're going to argue about Zimmerman versus Yuja Wong for the rest of the video. Yeah, Zimmerman, great about everything. Yeah, I can't see the salute. I'm sorry, guys. All I can see is a diminished 7th chord. You just said Zimmerman. That's what I heard. Almost like cursing someone out, with like the different symbols and everything, because it's like Zimmerman. That's what it looked like to my brain. That's all I saw. I'm too ingrained. Wow, Long by 1 vote. Nope, Uchida tied. Long up by 1 vote. Up by 1 vote again. Rest in peace, Zimmerman. Fully diminished 7th chord, Zimmerman. Been nice knowing you. I would have voted for you. You had my vote, but my vote didn't matter. I should vote for like a power of 3. Then I could make whoever win that I want to win. So, all right, Uchida versus Long. Wow, it's tied again. I mean, this one it's close in my mind too. Neither one would beat Zimmerman. Not that I'm bitter about that, but this is very tight. Tie. We've had so many ties. Again, I think this is actually tougher than before we did composers. And the composers was, I think, a lot more just really obvious ones. If I did like Mozart versus Handel, most people want to say Mozart. Don't do music theory, kids. What does to your brain? No, do music theory. Do music theory. Do music theory. Oh, man. Are we going to say Long is better than Richter? No. But Uchida beat Richter. That's the way this thing goes. I would rather listen to Richter play. Music theory destroyed your life? Why? Music theory is amazing. Music theory is amazing. Music theory destroyed my life. I don't know what that could possibly mean. Music theory is amazing. Guys, within 1 vote, if Long gets another vote, I will call it immediately. If it ties again, we'll have to do a recount. We'll have to just do a recount of the votes. But these have been so close. You guys are making it very tough. A lot of angst and anger, going on here. So, no, the biggest thing that theory does to destroy my life is I don't even think about it when if I'm telling someone a song, like a pop song or a folk song, and I'm just telling them the chords, I don't even think about replacing the words with the chord names, either Roman numerals or the strict letter name chords. And it just like comes out of me. And sometimes I just say really bad stuff. You don't even mean to. Just like, what's an example? C tol, little G, F5, E, der, G7, U, C, and you just start like saying 3 little stars and you're changing it all out for the letters. And some people are like, what'd you say? You're like, I don't know. I'm just saying the chords, just saying chord people. Okay. We have a tie. Okay. Revote with a strict 15 or so second. I'm not even going to look at who's winning. I'm just going to hit the end button and whoever is winning. I hit the caps lock button instead. Uchina. Oh my goodness. Keyboard. There needs to be a better way. As I said earlier, I want my setup to be a little better. I'm like, my keyboard is so far away from me when I have to type. It's not convenient. So, all right. You ready? I know not everyone voted. Everyone needs a vote. Ready? Set, go. Get all your votes in before it's too late, before the recount booth closes. I mean, really, if we eliminate Long in the second round, that's going to be really shocking too. He's definitely one of the most famous people on the list today. But, Uchida is pretty loved too, so it is tough. So Thank you guys for joining, by the way. If you are new to the channel, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. You can hit subscribe over, well, you hit down there, but the counter is up there. And yeah, the live stream is growing slowly but surely. More people are joining all the time. So keep liking stuff, keep chatting, all that stuff really, really helps. I'm not even looking at the count. I have no clue what it says. My eyes are not looking that way. I'm going to stop it in 3, 2, 1. Who won? Long or tie? Wait, I hit, oh my goodness, it was tied when I clicked it. Oh no. I was like not looking, and like I clicked it and my finger went down. It was long, and then it's tied. I don't know. How do we break this tie? I'm going to do another recount. If someone leaves a super chat voting for one of these people, I'll make them win. I can be skewed by money. It's okay. But I will redo a recount. But if someone wants the first super chat I see from one of the people, they also automatically win. Lung. What flashback? Was there another one? Yeah, what was the other one that was really, really close? I don't remember. All right, we're going to do another vote. But again, someone wants to skew the voting, they can do that too. But I'm going to give you 10 seconds. 10, 9. You better vote early, though, because, things sometimes, the delay. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, for all you Cheetah fans, it's much less close this time. Okay. Leg, long, lung, whoever you want to call him, he has one. I feel like it's going to make a lot of people disappointed. Uchida definitely had the more vocal crowd, but long, maybe. Oh, I'm skewed by money. You took my offer. Okay, Uchida won. I guess I did promise. You were almost too late there. You were almost too late. I didn't know if it would let me. I didn't know if it would let me change it, but it did. You were so close. Once I hit that button, I'm not going to go back and reset my whole bracket. So that was close. It's kind of rigged, but also we had 2 ties. So, we'll take it. I mean, that was about as close as any live stream I've ever done vote. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever had a vote. I don't know if I've ever had a vote tie twice. Like literally tied twice, maybe within 1 twice, but all right. Garrick Olson is amazing, but I'm not typing. Garrick Olson is amazing, but I don't think he stands a chance against Rubenstein. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I won't always be so easily skewed, but I did promise. And we did have literally a tie twice. So it was pretty much a toss up. And actually that one in my mind is kind of a toss up too. Like some people I definitely like Zimmerman more than Yuja Wong, even though I understand the votes for her. But I don't know who I would vote for, Uchida versus Long. I really don't know who I'd vote for. It would be very close. So, all right, Garrick Olson versus Rubenstein. Both classics, both loved. Olsen crushed the first round, which I was really surprised by. I thought it would be a lot closer, and he crushed it. But he's down 12 votes to 1. Yeah. Poor Olsen. Everyone's saying they're sorry. Must be a lot of love for Olsen. Yeah, Olsen is oh wow, 15 to 1. 16 to 1. Oh man. This is the nature of these things. It makes you compare them. How could Gold beat Sokolov? It's too late, Alan. It's too late. We can't go on forever. Okay, Olsen is getting crushed. Why did so many people vote? The ones that weren't close earlier, people were like, we're not going to vote. It's not really close. But everyone's like, no, we want to make sure we know that Rubenstein crushes Olsen. I'm sorry, Alan. I'm sorry. Are you on like delay? I'm sorry if you're on delay and you just now got the message about the super chat. That would be really, really unfortunate. I'm sorry. Major Noob, you're very late. Sorry, we've already seen Would you have voted for Zimmerman or Yuja Wong? Because if you would have been here, he might still be in this thing. He might still have a chance if you were here. But I know that could happen, Elijah. We could totally have people. Okay, we can stop the Olsen crushing. I'm sorry, Olsen. I'm sorry. I do really appreciate the super chat, though, Alan. I really do appreciate the support. Sorry that the voting was already closed on that one, but I really do, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. I mentioned in the video I put out last week about how I just love it. There was more people who could do YouTube like full time in the classical music world. And that'd be one thing I would love to do, is be able to do this YouTube channel like more and more full time, so I could do more live streams and put more hours into it. But as long as I work a job, I can't like do full time in this, but all the support really does help. And also the subscribers, that's where we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, but it all really does mean a lot. So I super appreciate it. So, what do you say? Yuja Wong is better than Zimmerman. Oh, well, you would not. At least you want to change the vote. You being late doesn't matter to me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Up next, we have a shocker from the first round in my mind, Cho, who I found out. I would say Cho and Olafsson are the two people who are much more popular than I realize, versus Giels. And from my first vote who I would vote for, because I know one person's recordings a lot more than the other person's. But let's see what you guys think. My vote doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes I'm the bad politician that rigs the election, but my vote doesn't matter in the end. So, oh wow, Cho is crushing it so far. Cube Talk, I'm sorry, Olaf got eliminated a long time ago. Olaf isn't with us anymore. Elsa uncreated him. He's not real. Wow. Cho wins out. Wow, this isn't even close. I love Barenboim's at the bottom. He's cut off a little bit. Don't worry, Major Noob. He's down there. While we vote, you can check out who's in it. Kissin beat Ashkenazi. Wong beat Zimmerman. Uchida beat Long Long after a double tiebreaker, and then a third tiebreaker decided by Cash. And then Rubenstein beat Olsen, who beat Axe in the first round, which is kind of sketch. And then right now we have this lower half of the bracket. Right now, Joe is going to crush Giels. I will give one more positive thought for Giels. If you don't know his recordings, go listen to some Beethoven. Or if you don't love some Beethoven sonatas, go listen to Giels' interpretation of them, because I think he is incredible. But Joe will win this round. Goodbye, Giels. You'll be much, much missed by me. Okay. Argrich is down there. Don't worry. Yeah. She's here. Don't worry. Argrich, I don't know if she'll win, but she'll definitely do well. All right. Gould, who beat Sokolov in the first round, and some people weren't happy about that. But Gould versus Yundi Lee. He's kind of like, older, weird interpretation, but super unique kind of. You get a lot out of Gould, and he's so unique, versus like Yundi Lee, who's just an amazing interpreter of Chopin. So I don't know, Arya, if it's going to be so easy. Maybe it will be easy Gould, but I kind of feel like Yundi Lee has a chance. Yundi Lee shouldn't have any enemies, but wow, Gould. Gould. Whoa, Gould has a big lead. Do you guys actually listen to a lot of his recordings, or do you just more like the idea of Gould? The Gould. He is legendary. Though Yundi Lee has a chance. Well, as I said that, Gould got a few more votes. Oh, it's back to close-ish. But yeah, I would listen to Yundi Lee, but I would say he's more specific. I like him for romantic stuff. So Gould is more unique. Gould equals gold. I mean, can't argue with that, Alan. Cannot argue with that. All right. Well, this is not one vote, but it's definitely more than one vote. So we will go with Glenn. Glenn has the win on that one. And poor Yundi Lee. I mean, like we said, guys, the votes are really tough. The votes are very tough. We don't have any freebies like Trash Trifonov. We don't have any trash people just to beat up on, so this is all tough. Trifonov versus Argerich. Oh my goodness. My tab crashed. What in the world is that about? I've never seen that button before. That was crazy. Okay, it fixed. That was really weird, guys. I've never even seen that error message before, so all is good. I will retype in the poll. Trifonov versus Argerich. All right. It's all is restored, right? Hello, Kathy. Welcome to the live stream. Wait, Kathy, aren't you from Germany? Are you like awake at 4 a.m? Maybe you're not from Germany. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Aren't you from Germany? Or maybe you're not, and I'm just totally making this up. But you were up very late or up very early in the morning if you are. So, all right, Trifonov versus Argerich. The guy that came onto the scene about 10 years ago and blowing everyone's socks off with the lady that's been amazing everyone for like her entire life. So, let's see here. I don't think this will be close. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Looks like I'm not wrong. I mean, nothing wrong with Trifonov, but going against Martha, that's tough. That is tough. Yeah. Sorry, Triffy. As someone called him earlier. We need, like, cool names for everyone, like Triffy. You know, Triffy, Argy. I think Argerich is fine. Or just Martha. If you're, like, famous enough, I don't know how this is in other people's cultures, but I feel like in the USA, if you're famous enough, you can like be called by your first name, and that's like a major. It's like a major respect. You know what I mean? Like you're to the level, you're so famous that we can just say Martha. I heard Martha's recording. Everyone knows which Martha you're talking about. There's no question. So, all right, Argerich is crushing it, completely crushing Trifonov. So, Argerich wins it. I would say not that surprisingly wins it. She is great, and we have the final matchup of the first round. And it is going to be a tough one. Horowitz versus Daniel Barenboim. Voting in the first round would make me think, I won't say who, but based on voting in the first round, I think I know who's going to win this, but let's find out. Horowitz versus Barenboim. And guys, keep on chatting, keep on voting. This live stream is growing in not subscribers, but viewers as we go along. If you are a new viewer, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I recognize I'm a little early to make that probably happen tonight, but, you know, next week we'd already be there. So it'd be kind of lame to have a 10,000K subscriber and I'd already be there. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so down there. You don't love either one of them? How could you? How could you? I like Barenboim. I will reveal that now that he has no chance of winning. I would definitely vote for him over Horowitz. I've never liked Horowitz as much as everyone else does. He's fine. But there we go. Yeah. We can end this poll. Poor Barenboim. You fought well. You fought well for a conductor. I'm just kidding. You fought well, but Horowitz is going to take it. So we are down to 8 people left, guys. We're not going to do the voting yet, but we have, I know, yeah, I mean, but probably because I'm a Beethoven fan, that might be the reason why, because I love Beethoven so much. I'm a little partial to Barenboim, because I feel like he is super unique when he interprets Beethoven. I don't always like his interpretation. I wouldn't suggest people always mimic his interpretation, but it teaches you a lot. He has a good reason for what he does. So, okay, our final 8 pianists. Kissin versus Wang. Then we'll have Uchida versus Rubinstein. Then we'll have Cho versus Gould. And then Argerich versus Horowitz. Pretty much nothing's too surprising there, except I really thought Zimmerman would make it to this point. If I had to guess, I would have said Zimmerman would be in the final 8. I don't know if anything else is overly shocking. I thought Axe would beat Olsen, but Axe would have lost to Rubinstein probably either way. So probably for the final 8, nothing is too shocking. But yeah, let's get these final 8 going. Just a reminder, when we're done with this, we're going to watch some famous musicians that are not piano players play piano and talk about their technique and how much they suck. Not Not really. But we will watch their videos just so you can get my opinion kind of on how they look when they play piano. I think it's kind of fun. Like the other day I was watching someone play and I was like, oh, they're not very good. I won't say who, but someone was like, well, how do you know that? Like, you saw him play for like 3 seconds. So I'm like, well, I don't really know, but just the vibe I get from seeing them. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at a few people, like, and just say, here's what I think. And then after that, I might do a little masterclass with your guys' video. So I already have a couple, but if anyone wants to submit a video to be torn apart by the public and for all of us to listen to and learn something from, and also, you know, make jokes about if you miss a note, but not really to make fun of you, but really it's just to group learning improvement, please submit a video. There is a link in the description. So we are ready to start the final 8. We have Kissin. Sorry, it's misspelled on the poll. We've already been over this earlier. We've been over this. Yes. It's the one person I wasn't worried about the name being spelled wrong on here, and I, for some reason, put an E in there. But Kissin versus Wong. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Wong a second ago. Yuja Wong had the biggest crowd of people cheering for her, but this is going to be tough. All right, guys, make it happen. Let's see what happens here. I don't know who's going to win. I thought Yuja Wong was going to get beat by, I thought she was going to get, not crushed, but I thought she'd get beat by Zimmerman, and I was very wrong about that. So we'll see. We'll see what the voting holds. What the people say. Wow, so far Yuja Wong takes the lead. Oh, now it's tied. Now she has the lead. I would say if this poll was 20 years ago, it wouldn't even be close, but I don't think anyone would know who Yuja Wong was 20 years ago. Yeah. Oh, Kissin's up by 1. Kissin is self-indulgent. Wow, coming in strong there. I really don't know much about his personal life. He plays great. Maybe he's self-indulgent. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes people get way more into the lives of people than I do. I think because I'm a pianist. I mean, you're all pianists too for the most part, but I don't tend to follow them like celebrities as they're playing. So in the past, I have been like, I like that person. Someone will say, but did you hear what they said last week? And I'll be like, nope, I just listened to their recording. So, interesting. Kissin. So Kissin's going to win, it looks like. Looks like Kissin's going to win. Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, I didn't know what you meant. His interpretations are self-indulgence. Interesting. Well, it's within 1 vote now, guys. You see, I guess maybe it depends on what your opinion is on like someone's recordings. Like, I feel like he has the best list tarantella because a lot of people take forever in the middle section of the tarantella and make the piece so long and they hang on every single note. And I feel like his recording just kind of keeps it moving, which is nice for my opinion. But I don't like Kissin's recording when he was younger. I know he's a prodigy. But let's face it, no prodigy as a child is better than basically anyone who's like in their 20s, 30s, 40s playing. So I feel like him as a child is a little overrated, but I get it. At the time, he was good for his age, but I definitely prefer his stuff when he's older. Wow, this is within 1 vote. I will not call it within 1 vote. I will do a recount. Before I call it within 1 vote. So if Kissin gets the next vote, I'll call it. He wins. If Yuja Wong gets the next vote, oh, right on cue. Oh, now it's, wait. Kissin's up by 2. All right, I'll call it. I mean, that was close. This one is not a crushing by any means. And really, you can't be upset about either person winning, except you can be upset that I misspelled Kissin's name, but there's no way to fix it now. I'm again deeply sorry if you're watching this, Evgeny. You're my favorite pianist, or one of my top 3 pianists. I know how to spell your name, I promise. But okay, well, the Yuja Wong crowd, you should be proud of yourself. So she's your favorite. I mean, she went to the final 8 and almost beat the 1 seed. So, you know, she did very, very well. She did very well. Definitely better than she would in 5 years ago. She's really blown up lately. So, all right, we have, I don't want to say a matchup of older guys, but compared to the last roundup, I shouldn't say guys at all, older pianists. But compared to the last round, we have like a more classic matchup. Uchida, who's been famous for a long time, going up against Rubinstein, who's been famous for, a lot longer. When you say bye, Yuja, I've learned you can do circle 7 for salute, and that doesn't mean fully diminished 7th chord. I'm learning, guys. I can still improve as a person and as a emoji reader. All right, Uchida versus Rubinstein. They probably don't need introductions, but I know, Rubinstein. That is the best B that didn't click on my keyboard ever. Up next, Arthur Rubinstein. He will ruin your day. I mean, I'm guessing Rubinstein's going to win, right? We'll see. Yeah, looks like the vote's going that way. By the time you guys hear this, it's already pretty different. So, oh man, I said Rubinstein was going to win, and a subscriber left right on cue. Crazy. The love here. Oh, wow, it's within 1 vote. Goodness. Okay, 2 votes. 3 votes. Ryan and I said it was close. It stopped being close. She's great. Rubinstein's great. This is a tough matchup, but I think Rubinstein's going to, he's pulled away by many votes now. So we could probably, almost, 5 votes. That's probably enough. Well, 4 votes up. I'll give it a few more seconds, see if it gets close. Give it a few more seconds here. Yeah. You misclicked. Were you the one who did that before? There was some live stream where someone misclicked like 7 times, and I was like, well, it's your own fault. Well, if you misclicked, then, it'd only make it further away. So, all right, Rubinstein takes it. Is into the final 4. Uchida fought well. And up next, we have, click on the right tab here. I mean, Cho versus Gould. Gold. Cho has had an amazing run. But I'm guessing it's going to end here. It's going to end right here. This was probably the weakest group of 8 people. Sorry if that's offensive to anyone, but I feel like there wasn't like a Rubinstein or an Argerich in this group of 8, like a clear, obvious winner for each one, except Gould, who's been the top guy all the way through this bracket. So I'm guessing he's going to continue all the way to the final 4. But the Cho love has been strong, like very strong this whole live stream. What? Yeah, Giel should have been here for sure, in my opinion. But, wow. Well, I told you guys at the beginning of this video, the 2 people I didn't know very well are recordings by, I knew of Cho, but I don't know like any of his recordings really. And Olafson, I'm like, I know the name, but I don't know his recordings. And they both have greatly outperformed what I thought they would do. So I should definitely check out these 2 people. I am shocked he's beating Glenn. Wow. I mean, Glenn Gould kicked out Yundi Lee. Wow. That's shocking. So if it was Cho versus Lee, who would you guys have voted for? Would it still be Cho? Wow, I'm shocked. I didn't know Gould said Beethoven's a bad composer. Well, guys, it looks like Cho is going to kick out Glenn Gould. That is by far my biggest shocker to make it to the final 4. That is amazing. He has the Cinderella run all the way until next round when he gets matched up against Horowitz or Argerich. They'll end there. But right now we got to go on to Horowitz versus Argerich. This is probably tricky. I know who I'd pick. I'm going to withhold. Well, Cho is a Cinderella compared to Glenn Gould, right? And Giels and Yundi Lee. I feel like he had to go against, well, he didn't go against Yundi Lee, I guess, but against 3 really established people who've been famous for a super long time, longer than he's been alive in some cases. So I guess in my mind, like, it seems like a Cinderella story, but maybe I just missed the Cho train. Obviously I did, because everyone loves him. But Argerich versus Horowitz. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I definitely know who I'd vote for. This one actually isn't close in my mind, but I know in Lost Field mind this is extremely close. But I know who I'd vote for. It's pretty obvious. I see what you mean. I wish Yundi Lee. I don't know why, but I kind of wish he put out a lot more recordings. Like I would say, I've looked at his stuff recently, and he hasn't, and at least from what I could find, he hasn't released a lot lately. So maybe he's just sort of fallen off in that sense. So, which is the nature of it if you don't release more stuff. And also, he never had the discography of someone like Gould, right, or Gales. He doesn't have like the math. Like if Barenboim never records another thing, Barenboim has the great wealth of recordings already established. So maybe that's part of the reason why is he just hasn't kept up on it lately. This is the most voted for one, so the most opinions are being given right now. Yeah. Well, it's not really. I mean, it's close, but it's not close. It's several votes. We're probably safe calling it. I'll give it a few more seconds. I would vote for Argerich here. That's why I said it wasn't close. In my mind, it's Argerich pretty easily, but I know I like Horowitz less than most people. I don't hate Horowitz. I just don't really seek out his recordings. Hardly ever. But, yeah, it's got to be Argerich. Okay, she just got another vote, so... All right, I would pick Argerich as well. Not really surprising, but it's always hard to see someone like Horowitz go, like when you get to these classic people. So the final four are Kissin, still spelled wrong, Rubinstein, or Ruenstein, Joe, and Argerich. That's a pretty solid final four, guys. That you guys have done well. You've done well. I will give it to you guys. I'll give it to you guys on that. Yeah, that's true. Argerich, I remember when I was playing the G minor Bach toccata, the keyboard toccata, and like she has a great recording of that. And I was like, wow, she just has done so much so well. She's definitely not a one composer or one era. That's a really good point. She was great Bach, great everything. So, okay. Shall we start the final round? Not the final round, but the final to final round. We have, good luck, guys, Kissin versus, almost said Wong. That was last round. Don't want to rehash all those feelings. Almost said that. Kissin versus Rubinstein, and we are only 2 subscribers away from 9,900, which would be a really pretty number. So if you haven't yet, subscribe. And Kissin versus Rubinstein, I don't know which way this is going to go. I actually don't. I know who I'd vote for, but I do not know which way this is going to go. Either way, I will be too shocked. So, right now it's tied. Oh, Rubinstein just took a huge lead. So as it like at the beginning, those updates coming so fast. Wow, Rubinstein's crushing him. Wow. I mean, he is Rubinstein, so not like it's that surprising. But, wow. Yuja got eliminated too early. I don't think so. I think she did well. I mean, you're talking about we're trying to vote for every famous recording artist, like ever. You know, considering we're counting recordings, people who have already been deceased. We're talking about the most famous recording artist ever, and I mean, considering she really burst onto the scene in the last 5 or 10 years, the fact that she made it 3 rounds and beat Zimmerman and Fleischer head to head is pretty cool, and she almost beat Kissin, so I would say she did great. But I mean, against Evgeny Kissin, it was close. But I mean, it's Evgeny Kissin, so okay. Rubinstein is going to beat Kissin. I figured he would, though I personally like Kissin more, even though I misspelled his name. But at least now I can stop focusing on the fact I misspelled his name and go on and just have Rubinstein. So Kissin made it to the final 4. Much deserved. But yes, he is now gone. We scroll down to the bottom, and these are really 2 people who of the final 4 have had the most passionate fan base. Like I keep saying I don't know Cho that much. I'm not saying he's not good. I just don't know his recordings that well. And he has a lot of passionate voters. And then Argerich, who's of course has a lot of passionate following too. So If you don't want to make a decision between the two, I'm sorry. The time has come. You can't put it off any longer. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Should I like smile with the facial expressions of Argrid to try to stew you guys? Or like what'd she do? She like one mouth kind of smiled and she like, she's awesome. Joe's too new to go against her. She's a lifetime head start. Yeah, that's how it feels sometimes. You know, when you go against like, you know, people who literally recorded and played their whole life, and she's still amazing, right? They're just do the cell phone side eye. I can't quite do her expression. It's bothering me. I thought I could make that facial expression, but you know when she's playing and she like looks at the conductor, just like, I got this. She's like, don't worry about me. I'm cool. Yeah. Well, she's going to win. I would say not surprisingly, even though Cho put up a great fight, it is Martha. And as I said earlier, in the world of piano, if you can be referred to by just your first name, you know you're pretty famous. Same with sports, right? If you just say LeBron, that means you're pretty famous if you can just say LeBron. So Martha is taking it away and made it to the final four. Before we do the final two, before we do the final matchup of the day, let's just recap how they got there. Rubinstein, I have to track him back now, find him. Rubinstein beat Polini, not surprisingly. And then Rubinstein beat Olsen. I would say not surprising. Rubinstein beat Uchida, a little more surprising. And then Rubinstein beat Kissen. Like, none of those are surprising, but the matchups are definitely got tougher. Beating Uchida and Kissen is pretty impressive. And then Argerich had to immediately go against Schiff, which she won pretty easily. Trifonov was closer, but she still won. And then against Horowitz, which is a very tough matchup, she won. And then obviously just now beating Cho. So we have our final matchup. And yeah, Polini got eliminated from the very beginning. He not even stood a chance. But he had a really tough first round matchup, so that was part of the reason why. And before we do this, let me remind you, when we are done with the voting, we're going to make fun of some people playing piano. We're going to make fun of the famous people playing piano, but if you want to send in a clip, actually I should check and make sure no one sent in a clip. I have to check my email and see if someone did send in a clip, so I'll have to download that here in a second. I have a couple kind of queued up, but we're going to do the making fun of famous musicians playing piano who can't play piano, and then we're going to listen to some of you guys play and chat about things to improve. So let's do... Someone sent a bunch of clips of Yundi Lee. Okay, let's do it. We got a poll. I'm on the wrong screen, so I can't see anything here. All right, got a poll. Start a poll. Rubinstein versus Argerich. I have no clue which way you guys are going to go with this one. They have both been crushing it, so let's see what happens. I don't even know who I want to win. Who would I vote for? It's close. It's not close. It's close. It's not close. Not close. Wow. Rubinstein is getting his socks beat off by Argerich. Not too surprising. I mean, like when I first made the list, I thought Zimmerman, Argerich, and Kissen, and then Rubinstein would be like all could win it. Those were kind of probably the four I thought all had a chance for going all the way. So not really shocking, but also it's cool to see it happen. So yes, it looks like Martha is definitely going to win this thing. So should we just see if it gets more votes? Anyone else have? If you haven't voted, vote. We can make the final round the most voted for round of all of them. That'd be good. That'd be good. Anyone else want to vote? But yeah, Richter was on the list. Richter got eliminated really early. Richter was right here. Got eliminated in the first round versus Uchida. So, yeah, I thought Richter would make it a little further. I didn't think Richter was a contender to win it. But, yeah, Richter got knocked out at the very beginning. So, a little surprising. But, you know, anything Rubinstein plays, Martha plays better. All right. Well, that's the most voted for one. I'll go ahead and click it in just so it can be official. But Argrich has won our poll. So congratulations if Martha Argrich, cares that she won Ryan Apsher's channel poll, best pianist. But these are our favorite recording artists, and I would say all in all, you guys did pretty well. I mean, the final four of Argrich, Cho, Rubenstein, and Kissen, you guys clearly knows. Yeah, Brendel got crushed. I guess you weren't here for that major noob, but Brendel got crushed. But yes, congratulations to Martha Argrich. She deserved it. Very, very, very much deserved it. She's obviously incredible. And like someone said earlier, she's one of the most all-around people too. I mean, anything she plays. But yeah, Enchanted Lemons, if I had to pick, Kissen's probably my favorite all-arounder. Did I say Kissen in my listing people I thought would win? I would pick Kissen, and after Kissen would probably be Axe, Argrich. Let's just leave it at those three, because the more you add, the more you want to add. But somewhere in that. Oh, you meant in real life. Okay, I thought you meant like because he didn't win the poll. Sorry. Yes, rest in peace, Brendel in real life as well. So, okay, let us move on to phase 2. So I'm going to click this button here. You'll see my face really big. We already have a video pulled up. So if you want, before we watch this video, we're going to start out by watching a few famous people play piano. The idea is that we're just going to talk about their piano technique, whether it's good, whether it's bad, just kind of vibes I get from it. Hopefully it's kind of interesting for you if you're a piano player yourself to kind of like, or if you're getting into music to kind of know, oh, this is what is something to watch out for or something. But also we can just kind of make fun of famous people playing piano. So first up, I kind of put these in order on purpose this way, so you'll see why as we go along. And I'm also going to skip around the videos a little bit because I recorded little sections of them. But first up, we have Justin Bieber playing piano. So let's listen to a little bit of this first. Then we're going to skip ahead to... Now, first of all, I have no clue what Justin Bieber looks like. I guess I thought he looked totally different. So that shows how cool I am. Keeping track of pop musicians. Everyone's like, this is Justin Bieber. I'm like, no, it's not. He looks like a 12-year-old child, right? With really long hair. But apparently he's going for like, I'm a bad guy look these days. What do you guys think about his piano playing? I'm actually kind of curious because I have my thoughts. But when you guys just see someone playing piano like this, other than just being a very low quality video, what are your first thoughts when you hear this? Any thoughts? My first thought when I hear this is if I was just looking at him, he looks like a little uncomfortable and kind of like jabby, but honestly, he feels it pretty well. Like he looks comfortable, which I know he played piano when he was a kid, but there's like a level of like, I'm kind of impressed by it compared to what lots of the times happens when pop singers play piano where you're like, you look like you're really scared of the piano. But he's comfortable. He's very, very jabby. And he's very pokey. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit, the live stream. Oh, yes, the live stream where we ranked composer for how they looked was hilarious. We should do that one again. That was like the one where the microphone wasn't working at first. So a lot of people didn't join because the microphone was like my webcam was glitching and listening to stuff. But that would be really fun to do again sometime. But, yeah. He sounds like he knows what he's doing. He is really aggressive. Like I'm surprised by how violently he plays. Like he's very like he just looks like he's just attacking the thing, but he actually has good rhythm. He actually have, middle school cheerleaders would swoon over the way Buse plays one chord. It's true. He definitely, people, the comment sections are crazy. They're all like, this is the best piano player ever. But I was honestly kind of impressed because I just thought he was going to be terrible. I thought it'd be terrible. Let's move on to someone else. Now, this is a person who all I knew about her is I knew she could play piano, kind of. And I'm going to skip around this video so I'm going to show you some other places, but I knew this person could play piano. I think you all know who this is. There's hilarious French subtitles underneath of it, which is also makes the video really entertaining to watch because she's not speaking in French. Oops, you can't see it. There you go. I didn't realize you guys couldn't see that. So let's skip ahead to where she's playing more. Now, I was honestly a little shocked by how good this wasn't, because I thought she was better at piano. I would say compared to Justin, like this is Taylor Swift, by the way. I'm guessing an old video of her. She needs to get out of the woods. That is the song, Out of the Woods. I didn't know this song until I found this video. I was trying to find videos of famous people playing piano. It's actually kind of tough. I was like, come on, Taylor Swift I know plays piano. So there's going to be like a million clips of her doing it. And lots of the clips, you can't see her hands. So yeah, it's like, yeah, underdog. That's actually my thought too. It's like she's afraid to move her hands. There's actually a part in this video, for some reason they get in the recording, where she plays a chord, then goes up and plays an octave higher. And she looks like terrified. She looks like... I was like, it's okay. The notes won't move on you, girl. They'll be right there the whole time. They actually stayed there the whole time. But yeah, it's like she seems sort of hesitant, and she plays pretty well. Her left hand is super awkward. Bye, Elijah. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Always fun, always fun. She also like her left hand, it's hard to see in this angle, but her left hand is really weird. And it looks a little bit like, not picking on you, but it looks a little bit like someone who can't reach an octave. Like people who can't reach octaves very well sometimes play like this to get a better angle. But isn't she like 5'10", 5'11"? She has to have big hands, right? I mean, I can't imagine an octave being a big reach for her. So if she was like 5'1", I think I'd forgive the awkward left hand technique as someone who's learned to play octaves safe. But she kind of plays like... If anyone's a huge Taylor Swift fan out there, I'm sorry, I'm picking on Taylor Swift, but I was a little surprised. So of the first two, I have 4 famous people for you. Of the first two, I really thought like Bieber felt it more and looked comfortable, even though his technique is rough. I was kind of pleasantly surprised. He looked like he actually was comfortable with the piano, and Swift just seemed like she's terrified of the thing, like somehow it's going to attack her. So it was a little bit of a plot twist. I did not know it was going that direction, but I have more for you. The next one also is a vertical video, so I'm sorry. She sucks. Can't even play hammer clavier. That's right. Come on, you have to be able to at least play hammer clavier to be a famous musician. The next one is a vertical video. It's the only one I can find, which I'm very disappointed of. Why is it that this guy, Ed Sheeran, doesn't have more videos of himself playing piano? Like, seriously, this guy's really famous, and he apparently records some of his own keyboard stuff, right? And I want to make it really big here. There's like no recordings of him playing piano, which is weird. So I found this one he posted recently, just like him playing and singing for a few seconds. Give me your first vibes, because I had very strong vibes when I heard this recording. You ready? So before we get into that, Joe, welcome to the chat. You missed everything. Your boy Richter got eliminated in the first round in the bracket, and Emmanuel Axe also got crushed in the first round. So if you would have been here, things could have been different. You could have voted for Axe, and then obviously you should have voted for the guy that shares your last name. But what are your guys' thoughts when you first hear Shearing play piano? Like when you look at him play piano, I have very strong vibes. He sounds pretty good. Like when I'm like hearing him play, he sounds like a level of comfort. But like, let's see, Bieber's piece can't yeah. So when I hear Shearing play, he just looks very uncomfortable. Maybe it's also because he's sitting so high, which could be mic placement or something, or maybe he always sits that high. But he just looks like really cautious. And I guess in my mind, he's someone I expected to be pretty good at piano. I just, in my mind, I guess I thought he recorded some of his own keyboard parts, so I thought he'd have like more comfort to his techniques, and it just looks super cautious, and just a little awkward. Like his octaves just don't look comfortable at all. So those were kind of my vibes looking at that. So you can disagree if you want, but that is what I thought listening to him, as it was a little less than I expected. Okay, I did save one piano player who is famous for being good at piano, one singer who is famous for being good at piano. And I honestly have never really listened to this person. And I know some of you are going to be shocked by that, but I've just always avoided her music. I don't know why. I think a lot of people are like, oh, you should listen to her. She's good at piano. So I've always avoided her. But we're going to listen to some Alicia. And everyone says she's good at piano. And we're going to see if she really is as good as piano. It's also, this is a really quiet recording, as everyone says she is. Let's give this a listen. He'll show her hands in a second. Yeah. Alicia Keys. If you're like really young, you might not know who this is. I never really got into her music at all. So I feel like I missed the Alicia Keys train. But yes, you can tell from her technique, she can really play piano. And I was like, I wasn't sure, because I'm like, does everyone just say she can play piano, but she's not that good? But compared to the three people we've heard today, there's a level of comfort there that none of the other ones have. She doesn't look like the piano is about to bite her at any moment. She's just playing the notes pretty confidently. So I was pretty impressed. It's pretty good. Okay, that concludes our celebrity piano look. I have an email of people who have submitted stuff for me to listen to. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little masterclass time. Can she play Liszt Transit? No, she can't play Liszt. Well, I don't know if she can. Wasn't she classically trained? Wasn't she? Am I crazy? I think I've always heard people say this. She's impressive. Now, am I saying she's impressive for... Oops, sorry. Am I saying she's impressive for a pop singer? Yes. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's impressive compared to the 32 people we listened to earlier. But the point is, like, normally when you hear pop singers, they're honestly really terrible at piano. They just look so scared. That's what I was reminded that listening to Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran, like all three of them just look so tense, but then also like just so cautious and like slow to move, and like I must be precise with the notes. And Alicia is the one that actually has like, you know, a little flow, a little like smoothness to her playing, which was definitely lacking in the other people. All right, is everyone ready for a little masterclass time? We're going to go up in skill level quite a bit compared to the pop musicians we just listened to, but we're going to wrap back around and do a little bit of what we start the video with, which is Haydn. We have Chopin on the docket, and if anyone wants to send in like a video, a quick clip of you playing, if anyone hasn't done that yet, please do so. We're going to listen and kind of like live react to people playing piano. I have no clue how it's going to go. Hopefully you guys aren't all terrible. I'm joking. You're not going to all be terrible. But we're going to kind of listen to these videos and see what we think of them. So the first one up here is a little... Actually, before we do that, I'm going to do a quick water break. And then if you haven't subscribed to the channel, Lady Gaga, she's fine. I don't know if she's as good as Alicia Keys, but I thought she was not as good as I thought she was. I listened to a few of her clips too. But okay, quick water break and then masterclass time. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Get to 9,900. Would look a lot better than 9,899. All right, we are back. I had to click this button to make the chat up fresh. There we go. Yeah, I would actually, I would agree. Billy Joel is pretty good. Actually, if you look at his live recordings, he like really plays sometimes in the live recordings. I feel like his album stuff, other than a few exceptions, doesn't really play all out. But he's someone who, when he's live, I feel like he really gets it. But he sits really close and really high, so it's always uncomfortable to watch for me. I just couldn't imagine sitting like, I feel like when he plays piano, he is like up here and just like on the piano. I can't imagine playing piano like that, but he is obviously pretty good. So let's listen to some Haydn first. Haydn first up here. Haydn Last Sonata. We'll skip through the beginning pretty quickly because I did a little bit earlier there, but let's listen to this. There we go. Sorry, just turned the volume down a little bit. That got loud suddenly. Sorry if that spiked anyone. So, as I mentioned earlier, the main thing that sticks out to me about the first couple lines is something to listen for, listening to Haydn, is you don't want to pedal typically where it's extremely obvious. Unless you really want, there are exceptions where you have like, I know, oh, nice. I'm so glad. 9,900 sub. Thank you for subscribing. No one better unsubscribe and go back down to the lower number because it looks so much better this way. We are 100 subscribers away, 100 subscribers from 10,000. That's really exciting. Thank you guys. Thank you people who've been hanging out during the live stream. And hopefully, I mean, I don't know if I can stay on until we get to 10,000 unless people start subscribing much quicker. I had to sleep at some point. But with Haydn, sometimes you want to be careful at taking it out of the zone. We're kind of in this like, oh, it's really pedaled, then all of a sudden this becomes really clean. And maybe you need to kind of balance out the two. This is Sky, by the way. Maybe you need to balance out the two, not being so like ooey gooey legato and like pedaled the beginning, not even legato, which is pedaled, and then it's just like so bare suddenly. Probably over pedaled. And then nothing. Is John Cage's 433 a real song? Of course it is. It changed my life. The better John Cage piece is the one that's still going on, that's going to go on for the next 150 years. 433 is more of a point he was making, a musical point that every performance is unique. The silence is music, and also the noise the audience makes is the performance. So he's a very modern guy. But yeah, that's kind of my thought with the beginning of this is maybe it's too blurry at the beginning. So the contrast of super clean is like too much in my mind. So let's go on a little bit here. Listen to this melody come in. I don't know about how far you roll your hands up. Brum, brum. Like, I don't know if you need that. If you were actually lifting, maybe hiding is a definition. Don't make pedal obvious. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, there are exceptions, but they're more rare. I would say in general, yes, that's a great piece of advice for hiding. Like, don't make the pedal just like so obvious you held the pedal down for a long stretch there. But yes, I would say that's a great general rule. But yeah, so here I might be a little less brum brum. I might have even more emphasis on the bum brum. Like either lift, or if you're going to hold it, you don't have to like turn your wrist so high in the air. It's more of a visual. That's more of a visual thing than an auditory thing, though. And now pedal again. So what I would do is I would pedal like you're doing, but I would only do that like half kind of flutter pedal thing, keep it right at the point of pedal, not pedal, and then clean it up. So on the way down that scale, not just one giant swoosh of sound, but we can like hear some clarity in it as well. But I probably honestly would pedal some as well for this first chord for texture, but I would change it more often. I feel like here maybe you're trying to play the left hand louder because you were told to play the left hand louder, or maybe you recognize it's the melody. But I don't think in my opinion, deep down inside, you really believe the left hand's the melody. There's some just effect where like you can tell someone's trying to make it louder. Like I feel like you're trying to kind of go, but I don't know if you really hear that as being related to measure 6 melody where the right hand was doing it. So I might do more to de-emphasize. That's not that important in my mind. I want to hear a lot more of the left hand going. And then even here, and then the right hand will obviously take over at some point during that line. I have my score over here, by the way. I can't find the stop button. I have too many windows open right now. Nice. When you have those accents not on the beat, those chords that are like, forgive my left hand sight reading. You are popping the chord, but then you're also accenting the very next chord as well on the left hand, like. And I would actually, if I do the accents, I would intentionally go and 1 and 2 and 3, like pop and then not pop, like immediately play it loud and then pull back. I wouldn't double hit it, but I would intentionally do, unless your score shows that. My score shows the accent on the and, but not on the strong beat. So here. But here it's like a bum, bum, a da 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 bum, bum. I would go bum, da 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 da, and not like it's such a big pop on the downbeat. That would be kind of my advice, because I think it just sort of emphasizes the strength of the and. But then for the double pop, I mean, it's a nice effect sometimes, but I think you could almost confuse us more metrically if you went da 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 da, and you wouldn't reveal where the beat was. So sometimes Haydn has all this kind of hidden metric. He messes with the meter a lot in ways. He never changes the meter basically ever, but he does things that make you think the wrong things are the beat sometimes. And I would view it one of those moments. Da 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 da. So if you're not paying attention, you might think that was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, but really it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so, anyways, that's kind of my personal take on that. I mean, fast scales, hard for everyone. This scene, let's listen to this section again. Oops, I didn't get back far enough. Yeah, it's tough. I was going to say more clarity on the but it's just so fast. It's hard to do. Just, I don't want to lose the beat there, but I think it's just like really quick and you're struggling to keep up with it. But but it's really fast. Nice. Oops, 2 more beats of rest in there. And for bomb, then you play, but just 2 more beats of rest to squeeze in there. Nice. and that is the exposition. Cool. It's always easier for obviously the person not having to play it and keep up with all the notes to be like, oh, you should do this a little tweak here and there. I obviously recognize you're playing a bunch of notes really quickly, and it's hard. It's hard to play a bunch of notes really quickly and not have mistakes or little like hesitations here or there. So that was nice. I feel like overall you should be really proud of yourself. I mean, I think this sounds great. I believe, what did you say? You said that you were starting this piece along with a bunch of other pieces for college next year, I think is what he said in his email, was that, hey, we're starting this piece along with a bunch of other pieces with the goal of playing them for the whole next year. So you have a great head start if this is your goal and you already have all that learned. So you should be really proud of yourself. I feel like, again, you're in pretty good shape. Just, the clarity is hard to practice. That just, I feel like your other sections are clear. As you went along, it became less and less clear. So my thought is that as you play more, you're going to be fine. Like, you're not going to worry about that too much. Does that make sense? Because I feel like as you play more and more and more, like, you already cleaned up some of the really fast stuff. And so I'm confident you'll be able to clean up these other sections that are fast as well. But, maybe just thinking about the pedal, like we talked about a little bit, and then the contrast where like you're really legato to not as legato, but then finding more places where the left hand, like for example, with the left hand, I thought that was nice. We got that little contrast of like, oh, we hear some clear left hand melody for a little bit. I really like that. So looking for more places where you can do that. Okay, we're not going to spend too long on any one thing. I'm clicking download on a few more recordings real quick so we can have more in the queue. But up next, we're going to do some Chopin E minor. Now this person is a not college student, junior high or high school student age, and like younger high school or older junior high age, middle school age, I should say, playing Chopin, and said he wants to surprise his teacher. So he's kind of learning this on his own. So this is not someone who's had a lot of lessons on this piece. Let's see how Jack does. I'll make it a little easier. You already get bonus points. I'll make this a little bigger for you guys. You already get bonus points for the thumbs up at the beginning. That was hilarious. You've already made my day. Your recording's the best recording ever of the Chopin E minor, because no one's ever given me a thumbs up before listening. Let me rewind that so you guys can see that. Thumbs up. Personally, I would have gone for the anime thumbs up just off the side of the screen. That would have been a little more sick, but we'll accept your thumbs up. Very nice, very nice. I'm glad you got off the squeaky note. You have that one squeaky note on your piano, which I understand. I have a squeaky note on my piano too. Sometimes I avoid that note just for that reason, because it squeaks. This sounds nice. I believe you said in your email that you've only played piano for a year, so that is awesome. Like, that's really, really good work for 1 year. I'm very, very impressed. So I like it. Yeah, the piano's backwards. I think I get so used to seeing myself like mirrored recording, so I'm not like scarred by that. But I've had a lot of comments where people say, why are you playing B flat there, not F sharp? And I'm like, I am playing F sharp. It's just mirrored to you. But yes, the piano is in a portrait mode or whatever you want to call that on your phone. But yeah, this is really good. I'm very impressed with this. I think you should be really proud of yourself for this like a year of progress. Again, it's like super impressive to be at this point already. So I'm very impressed. So the main thing I would say you should experiment with, because you already have the notes of the first few lines kind of down. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the notes sound pretty good so far. I would say the main thing to start experimenting with is try to add some freedom in and like rubato. And rubato is always a very ambiguous thing to get started with. Like, I've taught so many students rubato in the past, and every time I tell them, yes, Christopher, 433 is really good for developing technique. That is what I would suggest as well. I've actually used this piece to talk about rubato with students before, and what almost always happens is people don't do enough, and you're like, do more, do more. So my advice with rubato is you just have to experiment a lot. So you have to experiment with speeding up, and sometimes it's going to sound stupid, but you have to kind of try it. Like maybe you try the beginning and you do way too much and you go. That's way too much. You shouldn't do that much. But every time I've taught rubato to people, they always come back and do like none. And I encourage them to go crazy and do too much. In the first week, it's always like. And I say, you didn't speed up. And they're always like, yeah, I did. You couldn't tell. And I'm like, no, because you basically sped up not at all. So the basic advice when you're practicing rubato is do more than you think. Like if you think you need a little like speed up, do a little more, and you just have to learn it that way. You have to learn it by kind of going faster than you think, and then maybe kind of pulling it back and having a teacher kind of give you some like guidelines. Yeah, I mean, I would agree, better to have the metronome with the right rhythms and add rubato later, but he's doing it with the right rhythm. I mean, the right hand solo was like a little shaky, but the rhythm is good. So I would say it's time to start some experimentation. The other thing along with rubato to consider is trying to work on a bigger difference between your hands. Right now, your right hand, and this is always iffy to say on recordings because I know from recording my piano, sometimes what you hear is not what you get in recordings, but it sounds like your left hand is much too loud relative to your right hand. So the difference feels like. So exactly, hand balance. So I would say along with that, some of the practices, your right hand to my eyes seems really calm, like it's not moving a lot. And your left hand seems calm, like it seems relaxed, like playing. But if you were to compare the two hands, since the right hand's the melody, it's okay if it moves more. Like it's fine. You don't have to be totally still with both hands. The left hand shouldn't be going up and down really high because it's going to be too loud. So just visually looking at your hands, you might move my camera down a little bit so you can see it better. Like visually looking at your hands, the left hand should be kind of what you're doing, more calm, but the right hand, which you still can't see, right hand should be. It's okay if you have actually some movement though, but it's really good. I mean, for a year of playing piano, I am super impressed. That's a year of piano progress. I wasn't playing that within a year. So I'm also a later beginner like you. I didn't start when I was like 4 years old, like everyone else in the world. So yeah, you can make crazy fast progress. I know from personal experience as a high schooler, like if you're kind of that age and you're jumping into it, you can do so much. But yeah, I would say focus on, again, when you think about playing hands louder than the other, the mistake people make sometimes is they try to just do this and then make one finger louder, which is possible. You can go. But that's much harder than doing this. See the difference in volume? I'm controlling my volume with which hand is giving more drop. So here's the right hand louder. It's moving a lot. The left hand's more still. But then if I switch, so you can get your volume difference. Neither hand's going to be still, but think about your volume difference being how much your hand's moving. If this hand's like both hands are just finger strength doing it, it's really hard to achieve the volume you want. And what ends up happening is it sounds sometimes too flat, but just your fingers are doing this. So the left hand needs to move, but smaller, and the right hand can give more drop to each sound. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So the two biggest things I'd say is work on balance, and then just experiment with rubato. And what you have to often do is experiment with rubato, then record yourself, see how the recording goes, and then maybe add more or take less after you hear yourself. But go for it. Try to do some rubato. Your teacher, I think, will be impressed. You mentioned trying to surprise him with this piece, or her, I don't remember who it was. But I think your teacher will be impressed. if you go for it a little bit, and then even she has to say, hey, let's rein this in a little bit, because normally what happens again with students is they don't do any rubato at all, and you have to like pinch them to make them speed up. I don't really pinch my students. I don't condone abusing students, by the way, in case anyone takes that joke way too seriously. Okay, the next recording, I have no clue what it is. I just download these during the live stream, so I have no clue who it is. It says Tom. This is Tom playing piano. If you're in the live stream, you have a different name. I don't know who you are, but this is Tom. I have no clue what Tom is going to play. Hopefully he's going to play piano, but we'll find out who Tom is, how good he is, and what he's playing and all that. He has a Yamaha. Hi, Tom. It'd be really embarrassing if I don't recognize the piece. If I don't recognize the piece, just don't make fun of me. Oh man, you guys can't see it. Sorry. Let's restart from when you start playing again so you can see him. I don't know the piece. I'm sorry. Should I know this piece? Guys, what's his piece? Someone help me. Did he say in his email? Maybe it's self-composed? Okay, at least I don't feel dumb. I'm like, if everyone else knows this, I'm going to look really bad being the guy with the YouTube channel, being the teacher. I'm the only one who doesn't know what the piece is, but I'm glad no one else knows. Yeah, maybe it's just a self-composed piece or like a video game rendition or something. I actually don't know. If I judged it just based on your techniques, I can't really judge it based off the score of the piece. I don't know it, which is totally fine. Like, I don't have to know the piece to like give you advice, but your technique is really solid. Like, thank you people who just subscribed the last couple minutes. We are only 98 away. If I like get 5 an hour, I can just stream for the next 20 something hours, and we'll get there. Let's just look at this. First of all, you have impressively large hands. You're playing tenths and it looks easy. Like, those are like legit tenths, and you're playing them pretty easily, so good for you. I don't know what you're going for with these arpeggios. They feel very, very, very like individual, da 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 da. But maybe that's what the style kind of calls for. Like, I don't know if you're trying to roll them more so they sound like one swell, or if you're trying to get the individual, like almost like you're popping each finger a little bit. But if that's what you're going for, then that's cool. I don't really know what else to say beyond that, because it's hard for me to know the style. You look comfortable when you're playing. You don't feel like you're at a loss to where you were like Taylor Swift was earlier. Now that was a really big tenth, A flat to C. I feel like this is a self-composed or self-arranged piece. I don't know, Tom. I don't know what this is, but I feel like you arrange this piece because that's what I do when I arrange stuff. I play intervals that are really hard to reach for everyone else because, it's like gives it a unique sound. So if I arrange a song, I'm very likely to put a huge interval in there. But beyond that, I don't exactly know what to tell you. I wish I knew what the piece was. Maybe you'll comment in the future and let us know if it's something from a video game. Maybe I should be cooler and know more video games, and I just don't. But all right, we got one more, unless someone else has emailed me a piece. We have one more piece to do. And this is from, at least I can actually figure out who it's from first this time. This is not Tom. This is from big reveal here. This piece is from Alan. I also don't think I have a name for this piece. Alan from Transfer Now, piece name 018AD774-4860. Let's see what this is. It's also vertical, so forgive me while I adjust the ratio again. We know this one. All right, I'm going to give you some of my first thoughts. These thoughts don't have to be shared by everyone because you're obviously playing it really well. It's really solid. Like, this is a really good recording. So this isn't like about like technique for the most part. But my first thought just listening to this, and this is like something that can happen in Rachmaninoff, is as you start that build, I felt like we kind of delved into, again, this is my opinion. Someone can have a different opinion. This is kind of like our pianist poll earlier. Some of these details is what makes people vote for Rubinstein or Argerich, right? Some of this stuff. For me personally, I would prefer not feeling like it got crazy fast and we were just lost in the swell of the music for a little longer. I would rather that feeling of it's just rolling off your fingers be saved for maybe the last 5 or 10 seconds, and then it really builds and you get back to the big C sharp minor chord. That's kind of my gut when I listen to this. I'll play it for you guys again so you kind of hear what I mean. But again, it's not like it's bad. I'm not really even judging your technique. You're playing it great. And musically speaking, someone could have the opposite opinion to me. But if it was just like my take on it, sometimes I feel like even in Chopin, definitely in Liszt, Rachmaninoff, is it can sometimes just like swell and go into crazy world, which is cool. And I personally like holding that back a little bit. Or if you are going to do it sooner, it might need to even like grow louder, save something in the tank for like at the very end of the crescendo, the last 5 seconds to really explode, or get a little faster at the end before you slow it back down. It might just need something left in the tank. Again, that's just me. I'll listen to it again, kind of see what I mean here. So if we start around here. Nope. Here. So in this, we're almost just like rolling off your fingers, impressive fast at this point, and then it maintains that all the way till the peak. Still going. So once again, they clarify, I think it sounds awesome. That's just my first vibes I get. It's like I prefer there to be a little more structure. I'm a little more on the structure side though. That's why I prefer Kissin over Rubinstein and Horowitz, because I feel like I like the little bit of structure he brings to the piece, where you don't feel like you're in just crazy world as much, but that the crazy moments are like more brief. So I probably hold back speeding up quite as soon as we keep hearing that descending melody, and then when you take off, it's going to be even crazier when you take off. But this is super legit. This is super legit. So I feel like someone's going to send me a recording someday and sneak in like a famous person, and I'm going to like insult someone like who's already famous. But you play really well. Funny story, I have played this piece, but I played the forehand version of it, and I didn't know at the time, but the forehand version of it adds in a new melody, which I only know because when I performed it, my teacher, who I wasn't playing with my teacher, I was playing with a different teacher. My teacher was like, "What was that like tune in there? That's so awkward." And I was like, "I don't know. This is how it goes, right?" And apparently, I learned a brand new B section that doesn't really exist in the original. I don't know who wrote the two-handed version. There's a two-handed version of it where there's just an added tune for the middle section. So let's see what you guys say. Nice. Oh, this is you, Alan. Alan, yeah, this is you. Oh, I didn't even realize this was actually you playing. So sorry, I did not put that together in my brain. So yeah, you play awesome. You play really good. Now I feel bad. You sent a clip in today, and you sent a super chat in before the vote was called for Yuja Wong. So yeah, you play awesome. That's just like, again, this is just personal taste thing. I know I've heard performances of like Chopin, and I thought like, oh, that's like a less good performance of Chopin. Then someone else will right beside me say that's one of the best performances of Chopin. So at that point, it's kind of like taste. Let's listen to a little more of it here. Nice arm flare. Yeah, this is really good too. I wonder if here, I think the final one you speed up on purpose, which I think is cool. Let's listen to a few of these again. But the final one you rush. I think that's on purpose, Alan. I'm sure it's on purpose. What I would suggest is maybe don't make them all pause like a similar amount of time and then speed up only the last one. I would actually encourage you to do a wrinkle in the middle of them. I think there's 7 in a row or 8 of those, like you do the pattern, then you do another low note, then you do the pattern, you do a low note. I would almost suggest like finding one in the center of the group to push through. And that's, again, just kind of my personal take on that. If you had like a bum, 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 like just one time in the middle, like the third or fourth or fifth one, so we don't feel like they get monotonous. And then you sped up the last one, which is a cool shocker. But by that point, we've heard it many times already. I might just introduce a wrinkle in the middle, or maybe do it in time. Maybe rushing is a bad word for it, but maybe one time don't slow down as much. That'd be my only kind of take on the ending here. So, or the second part here. Nice, nice, nice. Was that live? People started clapping. That was live. Makes it even more impressive to pull it off live. So nice. Yeah, I mean, the ending, the only last thing I'll add is visually it might look better to hold the last chord, or at least don't move your arms so high in the air before you lift up the pedal. It's just a visual thing, but make us stay more like engaged on that last note. Hold it and know everyone should be like, whoa, the audience should be just blown away with how cool you just played. You want to kind of leave the atmosphere of, you just like, you don't just do this and then let the pedal hold it, because then we're like, oh, it's kind of over, even though there was like sound in the pedal. Like, give us a little more drama in there. Nice. And then Tom, what video game is it? Is it like a popular one that I should know? The music seemed cool, but yeah, I'm with you. If you have tenths, they're a cool sound. They're a way to get a good bass, but also still have the third. I know that seems like obvious, but it does. It gives you a really good low sound, but you can still fill in the chord, and you can get away with a more spacey sound on top and everything. So I'm with you. Yeah, it was a very cool arrangement. I'm curious if the original, if it's like an orchestral. Oh, Final Fantasy. I've never played the Final Fantasy games. I'm in like the perfect generation to have gone into Final Fantasy years ago, but I just have never. I never have. So I don't even know any of the Final Fantasy pieces. So Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, I mean, depending on if you want, the thing I was saying about the arpeggios, if you want to kind of be a swell, you might want to cross your hand over sooner and try to get more of a roll sound, like I hate saying flatter finger, but less defined finger, less like, and more. Because you did many of those arpeggios, and maybe after you did them over and over and over again, it felt, unless you're really going for the sound, because I don't know the original piece, it felt monotonous after a while to have like but maybe going for more of a rolly sound sometimes is kind of my first thought. So yeah, no, your technique looked good. Sometimes when you get to more advanced music, Alan, you're just going to have, I mean, I don't know about this particular one, but sometimes you do kind of flatten out, and it's not like, is that what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, it depends on the piece. Sometimes we learn that you should play piano this way, but it's not really true. I mean, there's definitely times when you got to move and fingers can flatten out a little bit. So cool. We are going to end the live stream. This is super fun. I will try to do more in the future. My hope, like I said, would be to do 1 to a month or something. That'd be awesome. But thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for sending in clips, everyone who did. And hopefully we'll get another one scheduled soon. But thanks for the support. We have a very pretty number to end the live stream on. We got all of the 9,900. So hopefully next time we do a live stream, we'll be at 10K. It's been fun. Thanks guys for supporting the channel. It means a lot. It's crazy to have 10,000 subscribers. I remember when I had broken 1,000. It took so long to get to 1,000. I was like, well, it's going to take 10 more years to get to 10,000, and it has not taken 10 more years to get to 10,000, thankfully. So thank you all for hanging out. Remember, as I always say, have fun in the comment sections. Keep things positive. We have enough negativity in classical music. When you guys hang out in live streams, I know I'm not talking to you guys, but when you guys are in live streams, it's always a lot of fun. Everyone's really positive. We all have a lot of fun. So that's why I want the comment sections of videos to be like, too. Just remember, have fun. People have different opinions. Different people they like. Yeah. It may be 100K next year. That would be kind of crazy. That could be the goal. It might be an unrealistic goal, but well, it could be the goal. Thanks for hanging out. Do I take video suggestions? You can send me video suggestions. Sometimes I need ideas, so I'll take, if you have an idea of a specific video you want to see filmed, yeah, you can shoot me an email if that's what you mean. Yeah, that works for me. So cool. Also, if you have a suggestion of what to do in the next live stream, if you want to know the voting bracket, let me know if you have any fun ideas. It's been a long time since I've done a top composers, and most people who did that live stream don't. I'm not most people do, but a lot of new people are in the channel now hanging out. So I might do that one again. So thanks for hanging